Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending on what time you tune in and where you are in the world. Anyway, we're going to watch a coded live, or no, a CodedFriend.001 slash NTFG stream. He has two personalities, so uh, I don't know why he has two different channels, but he does. So the video that we're going to be watching, I probably should copy, paste, enter, and I'm going to can I pin it? I don't know if I could pin it. Anyway, so the very first uh, live stream, live feed, live chat is the video that we're going to be watching. But while I'm waiting for people to funnel in, if they do, if they don't, that's great. I know CodedFriend.001 is a bit of a contentious figure, and that's great. So am I. I find him to be very entertaining, smart, funny. Um, Probably a pretty good guy, probably the kind of guy you'd want as a friend, you know. I know he doesn't drink anymore, but he's the kind of guy who would probably be great to have a beer with. Uh, it's not too fucking good that you be asking that in my stream, sir. You shouldn't ask that in my stream. NTFG means not too fucking good, or not too fucking good, or not too fucking good. So there you go. So while we're waiting for people to funnel in, let's talk about attorneys. People still seem to think and still seem to say in comment sections and in discords that that Kate did the right thing that with her attorney as far as hiring Wish, keeping Wish, etc. And I'm gonna press back yet again on that. I know Coded Friend did a video where everything I said came true, and he was shitting on Welsh News Network, a dry drunk, angry and verbally abusive. Oh, someone, someone has a sandy vagina. Oh Lord, it's gonna be a good day. All right, so some of the things that she did wrong, and some of the things that you probably want to do when you're looking to retain an attorney, is first thing you want to try to do, if you can, is to nail them down on the price. Now, there are some things you're just never going to be able to nail an attorney down on a price, but some of the things that you can see about nailing them down on a price for is if you're looking for damages, if you're saying, hey, I'm suing so and so for damages, then I want this to proceed on a contingency fee. Asking asking an attorney to proceed on a contingency fee does two things for you. Number one, it means that you're not going to pay anything or very much out of pocket. And number two, it means that if the attorney agrees, it means that you have a good case, or at least it appears that you have a good case. Obviously, there are no guarantees in the law, but if an attorney is willing to take it on contingency fee, that means that he thinks there's some liability there, and he thinks that there are damages there, and he thinks that there is an opportunity to recover damages, a good opportunity to recover damages. And those are the three things that attorneys look at in evaluating a case. Can I prove that there was a bad? Can I prove that that bad caused harm? And can I collect the money for that harm? The second thing that you can ask for in a defense situation, as opposed to being in an offense situation, is still trying to nail down on price. Uh, if you're going in on like a lot of the things in our particular um, realm that you'd be facing as a content creator is a defamation style lawsuit, and those can generally be gotten rid of on an early motion, either like a 12b6 or an anti-slap motion or a demur, etc. There's a lot of things that you can do to get rid of one of these things early on, and it should be something that an attorney could give you a quote on, like, so to take it through this motion, it's going to cost this much, and so that's another thing that you can do. If it's one of the cases where you think that it could go 12b6, or if the attorney thinks it can go 12b6 or anti-slap or whatever, then get him to nail you down on that. And obviously, if it's criminal, there are most attorneys are willing to do this on a like a flat fee up front to get to trial and another flat fee to take you through trial. That's so try to nail them down on price. The second thing is try to nail them down to no BS motions. If you can't nail them down on price, try to nail them down to no BS motions. Ask the attorney the likelihood of prevailing on the particular motion. Like, for example, a motion for an order to show cause re contempt. Ask your attorney how likely that is to succeed. Now, if your attorney gets squirrely, then you know that it's not likely to succeed. If your attorney starts saying things like, "Well, I would never claim to be able to read a judge's mind," or something like that, uh, that's that's a squirrely answer. Your attorney is supposed to be your counselor. Your attorney is supposed to be the person who understands the law and who can give you an idea of the value of your particular legal argument. So if your attorney can't tell you you have an excellent chance of succeeding on this motion, obviously no guarantees, but an excellent chance of success, then I wouldn't go down that road. People like to get vindictive. It's your attorney's job to be able to rein the client in and say, "Hey, look, this is a waste of time and money." I wouldn't go down that route. So that's another thing that you can do, and that Kate didn't do uh, to keep your attorney kind of on point. The next thing is, don't tell your attorney how much money you could actually spend. Like, Kate apparently took every single dollar that she got and she put it in a trust fund that the attorney had access to, and the attorney could directly bill against it, i.e., the attorney's attorney-client trust fund. So he knew exactly how much money she had. He knew exactly how much money he could spend, and there was no restraint on him from just blowing through all of the money. So what you want to do is you want to tell him that you could spend about half or a third of what you can actually spend. He's going to blow past it because that's just the way the law works. It's usually hard, but tell him you have less money than you actually have. Slow roll him on the payments. Don't put money into his trust account before he asks for it, before he demands it. You know, slow roll it. If you do crowdfund, try to keep the amount that you've actually recovered from the crowdfunding private. I know that sometimes you can't. And if you can't, that's fine. Don't lock the amount you're crowdfunding into attorney's fees. Don't say that this is a crowd fund for attorney's fees. Say this is a crowd fund for litigation expenses. Keep it vague. And oh, you're going to say, well, obviously we can't do that. Well, that's fine. If you can't do that, don't lock the amount into the attorney's fees for the current litigation. Say this will be used on current and future litigation, and I need to reserve some of it for the future litigation. And at the very end, if you're concerned that people are going to say that you're lying, etc., then then at the end, after it's done, then post the bills, post post the account totals. Then let everybody see, and make sure you do that as openly and honestly as you've done everything else prior to that. If you've talked about a crowdfunding on your YouTube channel, show your attorney billings on your YouTube channel. Don't squirrel it away in some hidey hole and leave, because to this day, people keep asking me, "Oh, she hasn't spent all the money. She never showed receipts." I've seen receipts, so I think she's shown them. I think she's shown them redacted. But if you be as open and honest as you need to be, take the doubt out of people's mouths. And finally, the last thing that I think that Kate really did wrong, that pretty much everybody on YouTube does wrong, is they talk about their fucking case. Shut your fucking mouth about the case. Don't talk about it on YouTube. Don't talk about it on Discord. Don't talk about it in private chats. Everybody's goddamn private chats are public. It seems like not a single fucking person out there can keep a private chat private. It's absolutely fucking amazing. Everywhere you go, everything you do, people fucking disclose it. And so just don't fucking talk about it. And that's the end of that. So what everybody's actually in here to see is we are going to watch this video. This is entitled Liar Q&A with Miss Mandy and Fraud Reaper. Now, the main players here are going to be Coded. He's the ampersand symbol. Dog Detective and Shiz. I don't see Shiz on this current screen, but I think she's behind Uncle Artie's super chat or whatever chat. So, all right, are we ready? All right, let's get ready for some hurt fifis.
Prove any points with evidence. It's going to be emotion-based argument and visceral reactions. It's going to get nowhere, and he's going to run back.
All right, let's do that again because I have it sped up. So this is Shiz talking. I'm going to unspeed this because I want everybody to hear this because this is important and relevant.
Prove any points with evidence. It's going to be emotion-based argument and visceral reactions. It's going to get nowhere, and he's going to run back and say he got some fucking victory. It does.
Emotion-based argument and visceral reactions. So this was at 51:21 to about 51:30. This is Shiz talking. G clef, yes, treble clef, G clef. We have a bit of I don't know, disagreement in the chat. All right, so it's some sort of a clef. Well, I don't speak the music, so I don't understand these things. All right, so she's saying emotion-based argument and visceral reactions. So then we're going to go to, I have a timestamp for where it starts. It starts at 56:08. Seems like a lot, but we're going to go into it. Cock-a-doodle spoo. There's close enough. All right. Let's see if we can go from here.
Here's the proof there.
Yeah, brother.
Shit around. Apparently I'm being threatened by some chick named Trans Girl. All right, so she was talking shit about me in Mark the Sarcastic Lawyer's chat.
I don't claim to have a super high IQ. I'm not whatever that Welsh News Network guy is who claims to have an IQ north of 180.
Then they instigated her to come over to my chat, and she'll appear in my chat to tell me. I don't think I attacked her, but if anybody thinks I attacked her, let me know in the chat. If you think this is an attack, put a.
This is something that has always bothered me. Attack. What does attack mean? Can you attack someone with verbs? I feel honored to be on a restream that Merb is restreaming. Your name is familiar, but I don't recognize you. Oh, that's right. You're one of Dan's crew. That's right. The Welsh News Network. Yeah, well, yay. I'm not attacking Coded on this one, by the way. So don't get your panties too much in a ruffle. But the word attack, like, what does attack even mean? Words have lost their meaning. Like, oh, this is harm. This is violence. This is an attack. These are words. If you're gonna, like, I can understand it if someone comes to your space and uses words. I can understand that. Someone comes to your space and uses words. You can be like, you know what? I don't want to deal with you. I'm not going to deal with you. But if you go to their space and use words, are they really attacking you? If this trans girl went to Coded's live stream and was talking to him, well, she can always leave. Like, is he attacking her? But let's listen to the attack.
One.
Making fun of a fictional character. Artie, if this is a fictional character, you need to develop a different character.
Right.
Literally, before I even came onto the internet, several people warned me that you are obnoxious and not to deal with you.
What's wrong with being obnoxious? Why? Like, and who are these several people? And why are we making this argument? Why can't you just address the actual argument that Uncle Artie is making? Now, he's a stupid piece of shit, but address his argument instead of saying, "Oh, people warned me about you." Who the fuck cares? Who the fuck? People warn you about me. People. There was another guy. I've just been listening to NTFG live streams for honestly too much time. They're a great way to burn through a couple hours of just having someone. It's like listening to old talk radio or something like that. It's somehow relaxing. But there was another guy that everybody piled on about somebody by the name of Logan. I don't think he makes any videos. I don't know who the heck this guy is, but apparently somebody was white knighting for some gal, and the white knight apparently said that this Logan guy was hitting on this other gal, and like Shiz just jumped in and like, well, how many people does it take to, you got to listen to, you got to listen to believe, and you know, how many ACK users does it take? And then all of a sudden out of nowhere, fucking Shiz, who's never said a goddamn word about this that I've ever heard, all of a sudden Liz is attacking this dude and saying that this dude has been making inappropriate comments to her, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like is this guy Bill Cosby or some shit? Like, why is everybody piling on to some random dude that nobody fucking knows about? Oh, hey, look, I talked directly to Logan and he apologized. Then why the fuck were you bringing it up on live stream? And just because he apologized doesn't mean he did anything wrong. And nice Photoshop.
And I was very nice to you regardless of what I had heard. But now
I'm old enough to be your dad, Shiz, and I wouldn't touch you with Logan's dick. But I have flirted with you, and I'll say that I'm old enough to be your dad. Now what? If you don't like it, fucking kick rocks. You know, no one forces you to interact with Logan. No one fucking forces you to interact with Logan. You know, you come with all your you come up with all your emotional arguments, and oh, that's a Logan joke, relax. I'm not the one who made a live stream about how he said shit to me. Like it's a joke. You made a fucking live stream where you called this dude out and you called him creepy and you called him all sorts of other shit. Like, that's not a joke. That's just being a pure dick. Just being a pure dick. You're just mad because you couldn't catfish him like you could catfish that fat fuck out of Ireland.
Now I can see what they were talking about. So I learned something.
All right, let's finish out this clip. Okay, I don't fucking know. So, all right, let's finish.
I can see what they were talking about.
Oh,
so
we got way too far ahead. My timestamp must have been wrong.
I learned something. I had heard with you. Internet, several people develop a different character.
Right.
Literally before I even came onto the internet, several people warned.
Now we're gonna play semantics. Okay, I didn't make a live stream. I just participated in a live stream, and I turned someone else's accusations about Logan, about him assaulting people on the internet, into him assaulting me on the internet or whatever, and nobody even batted an eye because it was just a big ol' riding Shiz's cock live stream. Well, I don't ride Shiz's cock. Would it have been underage sex though, Merb? I have seen pictures of Shiz, and she is definitely not underage. She's definitely not underage. I didn't say assaulted me. Well, we could probably go over that video at the end of this. Anyway, let's just try to get through this one.
Warned me that you are obnoxious and not to deal with you. And I was very nice to you regardless.
Where can you see more pictures of Shiz? Let's see. We're going to go to Turtle Boys. Turtle Boy did. Turtle Boy. What the hell's her name? Let's see if I could find a picture of. Oh god, it takes forever to load. Do you think Turtle Boy is going to get upset with me for posting pictures from his website? His website is terrible, by the way. It's a freaking terrible website. Poorly laid out. Terrible website. Well, you can go to Turtle Boy's website. Anyway,
of what I had heard. But now I can see what they were talking about. So I learned something.
Now I can see what they were talking about.
All right, let's finish out this clip. Okay, I don't fucking know. So, you know. Does trans girl mean you were a guy and you're a girl now? Or does trans girl mean you used to be a girl and you're a guy now?
Oh, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a fan of Turtle Boy. I'm not a fan of Turtle Boy. That whole scene in Massachusetts, Shiz, Kate, Turtle Boy, all of them are exactly what you'd expect. But Turtle Boy has receipts. He's got fucking receipts. And you know what? Shiz is big on receipts. Shiz is a big fan of receipts. And he's got receipts on Shiz. So, you know.
Now, I don't know the fucking lingo. Huh? I don't know the fucking weirdness that you delusionally think is fucking normal behavior.
I don't know if he's an award-winning journalist. I think he has received awards, but I don't know and don't care, to be honest with you.
Does trans girl mean you were a guy and you're a girl now? Or does trans girl mean you used to be a girl and you're a guy now? I don't know the fucking lingo. Huh?
Okay, so he doesn't know if trans girl means that you are transitioning from male to female or from female to male. Okay? Totally terrible, right?
I don't know the fucking weirdness that you delusionally think is fucking normal behavior.
Okay, and he doesn't think that it's normal behavior for someone to transition from male to female. Just on the averages, just looking at the facts, it's something like what, 2% of people transition from male to female or are trans. Something like 2%, maybe 1%. It's a very low percentage of the population. And normal would mean that it's something that like most or a significant chunk of the population would do. So is it normal to be trans? And one would say no. That is the exception to the rule.
Right. So
that is a bit much.
And you could be like, it's not too fucking good that you'd have to ask that question, okay? And you could be like, oh, that's transphobic for you to say that it's not normal to be trans, but that's what the word means. Normal means that like that's what most people do. You know, it's normal to walk on 2 legs and not on 4. That means that someone who's walking on 4 legs is not normal. That doesn't mean they're a bad person. It doesn't mean anything else, but it's just not normal to walk on 4 legs if you're a human. It's not a value judgment.
That part.
I'm going to say that's a bit transphobic.
Oh, it's a bit transphobic. Oh my God. He said that it's a delusion, and reality exists. A long time ago, you go back through all my videos. A long time ago, I said that I like to conform my beliefs to reality and not reality to my beliefs. Reality exists. Reality, as good, bad, or otherwise as it may be, says that people are born, generally speaking, with a very, very, very tiny subset of differences, the ability to produce eggs, non-motile reproductive cells, and sperm, motile reproductive cells. That's kind of the dichotomy. And if you can't do one or two of those, you're an exception. You know, generally speaking, maybe you're getting older. But you know what I'm saying? Like either your body's designed to produce eggs or sperm. And generally speaking, if you're designed to produce eggs, you have 2 X chromosomes. Generally speaking, if you're designed to produce sperm, you have an XY chromosome. Sometimes you could have 2X or an X and 2 Ys, or 3 X's and a Y, or whatever. There are some mistakes that are made in the genes, but that's what it is. And if you're one of, you know, most transgender people have an XX or an XY chromosome, if you're one of those and you think that your entire body, every single, what do they call those, duplex cell that your body has either an XX or an XY chromosome. If you think that you are a different gender than what your sex is, well, that's a delusion. And I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not saying you're a bad person, but that's reality. That's life. You know, that's what that means. And until recently, we treated it as though you have a delusion. You're under the belief that your entire body is wrong. Well, what is more likely? Your entire body is wrong, including the brain cells that have the XY or XX chromosome in them. Your entire body's wrong, or you have a delusion. Which is more likely? I don't know. So I can understand what he's saying. And again, I'm the guy who's been to gay pride parades. I'm friends with Nasty Nathaniel. I am a California libertarian. As much as I try to not be, I'm a California libertarian. I don't care what you do with your body. I don't care. It's your body. You're an adult. Go have fun. I don't fucking care. I try to care. I can't care. I just can't care. But that's reality exists.
Okay.
Just on its face.
Okay.
But just on its face. Facially speaking, it's transphobic. Wow. Well, Dog Detective didn't say that she was going to be that she was against emotional reactions or emotional based evidence and visceral reactions or something like that. So we'll wait for Shiz to chime in. But
I very
obviously
much disagree with that, for the record.
She disagreed with that, for the record. Oh, I'm so scared of actually understanding like what biology is, that I'm going to disagree with it, for the record, because I'm scared that I'm going to get canceled.
And
okay, that's cool.
I do care for trans girl. She's always been nice to me.
And that's fine. There's a distinction between saying like, I like this person. That's fine. I've worked with a couple trans persons. I've worked with a male to female. I've worked a female to male. Both of them great people. No issues with them. I actually like them. I currently work with a female to male trans person, and I have to say that and I use his pronoun because I respect him as a person, not because of what he's doing to his body, but because of who he is as a person. He's probably the nicest guy I know. So you can like someone and respect them, but still not believe in the hype. You could still be like, yeah, I think this is a delusion. You can do that.
Good. I appreciate the feedback. Artie obviously played that twice, so that's apparently what he thinks is me attacking her. I don't feel that's an attack. I mean, it's a legitimate question.
Some of my best friends are black. Well, that is, in fact, a reasonably good defense against being called a racist. If you are judging people based on the content of their character and able to be friends with black people, but there are other black people that you're calling out, you're probably not calling them out on the basis of race. So you're probably not racist. It is actually the best defense. And it's just the fact that so many people have been called racist when they're not in fact racist, that it doesn't seem that way, because everybody piles on. Oh, you're racist. Dude, like look at I have black friends. Like, Trump is a racist, and there's all these pictures of him floating around, like hanging out with black people, like getting awards from the Rainbow Coalition, from Jesus, what the fuck, Al Sharpton, and I mean, but he's a racist. I mean, it is literally the best defense to it, and the fact that you don't even understand that you can't wrap your brain around that is pretty terrifying. I mean, you claim to be an Esquire. It's pretty terrifying that you can't understand that that being friends with black people means you're not a racist. Fucking stupid.
Yeah, it's the delusional stuff and the shit you threw in after that's the issue.
Why is that the issue? Why? He's not attacking a person. He's attacking the idea that being trans is normal.
Oh, okay. Well,
We understand that you have a different perspective. However, there's no need to demean someone based on.
How did he demean a person? He says, I don't understand trans girl, if that means that you're male to female or female to male. I too much mansplaining. Well, then get the fuck out. Like, why are you here? Fucking get the fuck out. I don't understand shit, so I'm just gonna go back. You're mansplaining. So, but how did he demean trans girl? He said you're delusional, which I mean that is fairly obvious unless you're programmed to not think that way. And it's not normal, which is also like factually true. I don't
on their
understand.
identity.
It's so something about identity. Let's go back
The
to
need
that.
to demean someone based on their identity.
It's demean someone based on their identity. So if someone identifies as a Nazi, you can't be like, dude, you're a Nazi, right? You can't demean someone based on their identity. You're a racist. Oh, it's my identity. You can't demean me based on being racist. What the fuck? This fucking stupid. This is stupid. Like anybody who heard this and wasn't like, this is so fucking stupid. Like, what is wrong with our society? You can't demean someone based on their identity. You choose your fucking identity. That's the point of an identity. If someone wears a trench coat and a fedora and carries around samurai swords, you can demean them based on that. That's their identity. Jesus fucking Christ.
Got you. I don't
I mean,
see
if
that.
someone's a douchebag, they're just a douchebag. Call them a
What if they identify as a douchebag? I, in particular, identify as a douchebag. So don't demean me based on my identity. Fucking Christ.
douchebag.
I'm
That's just my advice.
I'm learning that, and
I'm learning that. No, you're getting indoctrinated into that. You're getting pressured into that. Nothing that they said has been fact-based. It's all been emotional. It's all been visceral reactions.
generation, we don't kick glove this shit. So I'm learning that. I appreciate your feedback. I definitely appreciate your feedback.
I will say, when I coded about the homophobia stuff and the F word there.
F word. She means fag. Yes, she pressured him into not saying fag.
And
No, you can't. That is 100% wrong. If you're homophobic, if you actually don't like gay people, you won't be friends with gay people. That if you don't like black people, you won't be friends with black people. That is literally the opposite. Like, that's stupid.
He was very open to it, and he has been much better about it. And I do
Oh yeah, he's been open to it and much better about it.
appreciate him being open to
Yeah,
suggestions.
I appreciate that you didn't just like shut down and defend yourself immediately. It's amazing what happens when somebody actually wants to take accountability, I guess.
Take accountability for what? For saying that he doesn't understand if trans girl means it's male to female or female to male? For saying that it's a delusion? For saying that it's not normal? For accountability, like why does he have to be accountable?
Yeah.
And why does he have to be accountable specifically to Dog Detective? Like why does that who put Dog Detective into the place where Coded has to be accountable to Dog Detective or Shiz for that matter?
And be like, I did say that. It was kind of an asshole thing to say.
The point of calling someone a fag is literally to offend them. It's an insult. It's literally an insult. The point is to insult someone. The point, like, that's the point. Like, what are you just saying? That this insult is just too good? It's too powerful? We can't have this level of power. This is over 9,000. Like, the point of calling someone a fag is to say, I don't like you. You're a douche.
Right. And with the FAG word, it doesn't
With the FAG word.
mean the same thing to my generation as it does to you guys.
Well, no, I get that it was like a colloquialism back.
That's stupid. The technical definition of faggot is a bundle of sticks. That's everybody knows what Coded means when he calls someone a fag. Everybody knows what he means when he calls someone a fag. He's meaning to insult that person. And they could take it as whatever they want to take it. But here's the weird thing. Like, if you call someone a fag, that means you're saying that you're homosexual and you're using it as an insult, right? Now, they have two ways. They could either be offended, which means that they believe that being homosexual is bad. How dare you call me homosexual? I'm not homosexual. Homosexual is bad, right? Because like, if you called someone beautiful and they're ugly, they're not going to be like, wait, you can't call me that. I'm actually ugly. They're not going to be offended by it. they're going to be like, oh, thank you, that's a compliment, right? So if gay people are good and you call someone gay, or a euphemism for gay, then they should be like, cool, great. And if it's a bad thing, well, then there you go. Who's the fucking homophobe now, right? Who's the homophobe now? It's like the whole thing. There's a Discord thing. Like, people were talking about oh God, what's that? There's some giant black woman who is just, she shows way too much of herself. Oh, she's a singer. Anyway, there's this giant black singer who shows way too much of her body, and somebody on my Discord was posting her picture as a beautiful, big is beautiful, right? And I'm like, Lizzo, thank you. That's what it was, Lizzo. And I'm like, no, Lizzo isn't beautiful, because if you walk up to a woman and you say, you look like Lizzo, they're not going to take that as a compliment. They're going to be like, what the fuck? This motherfucker just called me fat, right? Or if they're racist, they're going to be like, what the fuck? This motherfucker called me black. But like we understand as people. We understand as people that if you're using something as an insult, if you're not offended by it, then like, anyway. So if you're offended by getting called a fag, then that means that you don't think that being gay is a kosher thing to have happen. So congratulations on you for being homophobic. Don't push your homophobia on me.
Before like Matthew Shepard and all that, but I think that there's been enough time in between that it's kind of universally accepted that, you know, it's not a nice word to say.
So this is called an argument ad populum. It's not a nice word to say. That's a real mamby-pamby fucking thing to say in the first place, because again, we just went over how it's supposed to be offensive. That's the point of doing it. Like, if you're calling someone a fag, you're not saying anything about homosexual people in general. You're saying something specific about the person you're calling a fag. Just like if you call them a dog, that doesn't necessarily mean they're a dog. Or if you call them retarded, that doesn't mean that necessarily they're retarded. It just means that you're insulting them. It's an insult. You're using it as an insult. And if someone chooses to get insulted about it, then they could get insulted about it. And that's that. But the argument ad populum, it's popular, and this is a popular opinion. Well, opinions of the population change over time. And there was a time in this country where it was unacceptable to be gay, and opinions have changed. And so does something become morally right or wrong or otherwise based on what the population believes? That doesn't make any sense.
You're free to say it, but you're going to get a lot of blowback from society over it.
Blow me back. I love a good blowjob.
So it's best to just be considerate of other people's feelings.
No, it's not best to be considerate of other people's feelings when that restrains your ability to say things. There was a time when churches were against homosexuality, but now entire nations are judged based on whether they have gay pride parades. What was it? Robert F. Kennedy Jr. was on Jimmy Dore. And Robert F. Kennedy Jr. was juxtaposing Israel versus Palestine. And, you know, Israel is the best nation in that area of the world because they have gay pride parades. So it doesn't matter that they're bombing Palestinians, they're blowing up homes in Palestine, that they have a puppet government, that they're stealing land, that they're attacking Syria, they're doing all these warlike things. None of that matters because they had a gay motherfucking pride parade. Crazy. Fucking crazy.
Feelings and just avoid it.
Fuck your feelings. Fuck your feelings.
Right. And the reason why I dropped that word is because I don't actually have to use that word.
See, and that's, you know, I lost a lot of respect for Coded when that came out. I lost a lot of respect for him. Like, bowing down to the peer pressure, it sets, you know, there's people who listen to Coded. There's people who watch Coded because they agree with him, etc. And like, I mean, you give them the power. Why are you giving fat bitches on the internet power to control what you say? Why would you do that? Exactly. And you know what? I will posit this, Glober Mom. I will posit that not allowing people to talk about it does way more harm than allowing people to talk about it. The ADL, who I find loathsome, period. The ADL is saying that we as a nation are getting more racist, more anti-Semitic, more homophobic. Now you have to juxtapose that with everything that you see on TV, with gay pride parades, etc., Gay History Month or Gay Pride Month, Black History Month, all these things, all the corporations, etc. You have to balance that out, but there's probably something to it. There is probably an undercurrent when you stifle these things, when you stifle expression, free expression. That doesn't make the people's beliefs go away. That doesn't change what they think at all. They just tamp it down. They don't talk about it. But if there's no discussion about it, then how can people make an informed decision on whether or not they want to believe X, Y, or Z? There was a black guy who went around and he befriended a bunch of KKK guys. And they got to know him. First black guy they ever met. Or they ever really had any interaction with. He kind of forced himself to be friends with them. And, they're like, you know what? Black people aren't that bad. These are guys who are in the KKK. Now, admittedly, the KKK is probably 99% FBI agents, but they were in, like these are like, but it's because he had the conversation with them. He didn't tell them to shut up. He didn't silence them. He talked to them. You can't censor people into believing what you want them to believe. Now there is a subset of people who are very easy to manipulate, who will allow themselves to believe what the majority believe. Who there's a so this is going to get me in a lot of trouble, but women and low confidence men tend to be very go along with the flow of society. They don't stick their neck out. They go with the flow. And it's men, either really stupid men or really smart men, who have a lot of confidence, who are actually able to push back against it. That's the way it is. And anyway, I'm not gonna continue on that. Let's go back to the video.
What I don't understand is why a word, a simile, a word that means the exact same thing, is not offensive. That's the part I have a disconnect with. And
isn't that crazy? It's not the they're communicating, it's how you're communicating it. He's back on fag. So you can call someone gay, you can call someone a dick licker, you can call them a pole smoker, whatever. No problem. But fag, why? Explain that to me. What is the magic of that word? The purpose of a word is to communicate an idea. And there are, generally speaking, multiple ways to communicate any idea. And so why is it that one word? Why is it that one word?
What do you mean?
Well,
what is the simile?
I can say gay.
What is the simile?
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, but
it's not
gay,
the same thing though.
Gay
it's not the same thing though.
is an
matters.
orientation.
Gay is an orientation and fag isn't. Like, okay.
The F word is usually thrown around during violence.
During violence. You know what's thrown around during violence a lot? Fucker. In all of its various forms. Motherfucker. You fucktard. Fuck is probably the most number one thrown around word in any violent situation. And that's just my my made up statistic on the spot, obviously, because I haven't looked into it, but I have perused quite a number of videos on various platforms, like World Star and things like that. And fag is very rarely used in an actual violent situation. So like citation fucking needed. And this is Shiz. This is the person who, it's not visceral reactions, it's not emotion-based arguments. This is Shiz, and she's just throwing this shit out there.
Confrontations or verbal assaults over
Verbal assault? I am being verbally assaulted. Fuck you.
someone's sexuality. So that
It's not, it's so, their sexuality. It's not, straight people probably get called fag way more often than gay people do. Well, as an insult. Having hung around with a bunch of gay people in my lifetime, I have heard gay people call other gay people's fags so often. But outside of that, even they call each other fag as an insult. Huh. Whatever. Anyway, this is one of those things where you can't use that word. It's our word. I'm going to back that up just ever so slightly.
confrontations or verbal assaults over someone's sexuality. So that's why those are not similes. Those are not the same thing at all.
They're not similes because fag gets used in different contexts. So they're not similes. Are you fucking retarded, Shiz? Are you fucking retarded? They're not similes because they get used in different situations. Yeah, and there are words that get used in high society more than in low society. But that doesn't mean they're not similes. Penis, dick. Two words that they're synonyms, not similes. But you could use a simile, like you could use a group of words to do the same thing. But I think they're talking about synonyms. But like penis and dick, one is generally used in a different environment than the other one is. But that doesn't mean they're not synonyms or similes.
Okay, but to me, they are. And if you ask people in my generation, they're going to tell you it's a person who's soft.
Well, I mean, but the
It's
amazing
not really
thing,
a defense, though.
no, the amazing,
yeah, it's the point of it. The point of it is that it's to offend. That is the point of calling someone a fag. It's to offend them. It's like calling them a piece of shit or an idiot. It's the point. That is literally the fucking point. But it's offensive. That's the point.
the thing about meeting people that are in different generations from you is that
marginalized people don't control the narrative. Well, it depends on who you think is marginalized, because you can get, if this stream ever was monetized, it would get demonetized for what I've talked about here. But gay people talking about faggots wouldn't. So how do you know? And what do you mean marginalized people don't control the narrative? Like our country is bending over backwards for minority groups right now. Bending over backwards. Like I see a different reality than you see, Glober Mom. So I'm going to say that I'm pressing X to doubt. And while I do agree it's white political activists who want to incite division or controlling the narrative, I would take white out of that because, well, that's pretty fucking racist. And I would just say that political activists who want to incite division are controlling the narrative. How about that? There are groups of people who make a lot of money off of this political division, and our society, well, I guess human society in general, but specifically American society, we tend to be our team and their team. You have the frauditors and you have the anti-frauditors, and you have Republicans and Democrats, or Republitards and demon rats, or whatever they call themselves right now, or whatever they call each other right now. But it's our team, your team kind of thing. And as long as we're thinking along those lines, we're never going to come together. Free speech is not free of consequences. Fuck you. It should be. Anybody who tries to punish someone for their speech, that person should be marginalized and kicked out of society. That's a fucking terrible thing to do. It's not free speech if there's consequence. If there's a payment to be made, it's not free speech. It's literally not free speech. So it has to be free of consequences. What the fuck is wrong with you? It literally has to be free of consequences. And as a nation, we should protect speech, period. We should protect it.
you can learn from them so that we can all just try.
Sports ball is a great, bread and circuses. I mean, That's how they've been keeping the masses down forever. Bread and circuses.
Try to make the world a better place. None of us are.
Why is it a better place if Coded can't speak his mind? How does Coded not being able to speak his mind a better place? Did he actually harm someone by saying those words? No, he didn't. At best, he might have irritated someone or make them log off or whatever, but he didn't harm them. Like that's stupid. There should be, our society has gotten to the point where harm and offense and things like that, it's all subjective. There's no objective telling of where harm lies. It's one of the problems with a lot of the laws that we have. But like, if I don't physically touch you, then you're not getting harmed by me. Especially on the internet, especially if someone's coming into Coded's live stream. If you're coming into someone's live stream, like, dude, just leave the live stream if you don't like what they have to say. Like, what's wrong?
Are making it out of this alive.
So
there's
that's
little things we can do to be more considerate to each other, and that's one of them.
Right.
Yeah. You know what? There's something that you can do to be considerate to. I don't know. Coded. You cannot try to censor him. That would be very considerate to Coded. Why is this other person's why are you placing this other person over Coded? Coded is allegedly your friend. Why can't you let Coded speak freely? Why don't you defend Coded's right to speak freely? None of this makes any sense. Holy shit. My rooster finally made a YouTube account. Nice. What about Inigo? Inigo doesn't have an account? That's terrible. You guys are slacking.
Right, but that's what I've actually been doing. I've been trying to understand why. And anybody can come up and say, you can't use that word. And I say, why? And they say, well, if you don't know, you know, it's if people.
But that's exactly what Shiz and Dog Detective are doing. If you don't know, I mean, they're just throwing out emotionalisms.
Take the time to explain, like you guys have done with me.
No, they haven't explained. You haven't been on your ball. You must have been high or something when you were doing this, dude, because you were not on the ball for this.
I'm willing to adjust, but if you're going to take the tack that Uncle Artie takes here and just starts talking fucking nonsense, I'm going to keep doing it because I know.
But I understand.
You should just keep doing it, Coded. You should just keep doing it. Never give in. Never surrender. That as soon as you surrender, as soon as you've let them win, they're just going to move on to the next thing. Because 5 years ago, fag wasn't hate speech. Fag wasn't censored. People weren't saying the F word for fag. But incrementally, they'll take words away from you incrementally. And it doesn't change anything. It literally doesn't change anything. It doesn't change the way people feel. It just takes away their ability to express how they feel. And it stifles conversation. And you know what? If someone is homophobic, you could always be like, hey, you know, let's talk about it. Let's find out why you feel this way. But if you just say, oh, you can't say that, then they'll never stop being homophobic. They'll just resent you for having taken away their speech. Yes, misinformation especially counts as free speech. Absolutely.
Understand our Uncle Artie's stance, because on its face, if I didn't know you and I didn't know that I could talk to you this way and try to teach you things from different generations, like on its face, that would have been a really shitty thing to watch. I would have been really upset about that clip as well. I would have been really upset. Oh, we're not going to do emotional arguments or visceral reactions, but I'm just going to tell you that I would have been upset. And so I'm going to play on your sympathies towards me, your friend, to try to prevent you from expressing yourself, because fuck you. That's why.
Okay.
Yeah, out of context, that would have probably prevented me from coming up here today if I had seen it.
Virtue, where are you? Virtue. I can't be associated with someone who is so uncouth as to suggest that he doesn't know if trans girls, male to female or female to male, and he doesn't think it's normal to be transsexual, transgender, and he doesn't, and he thinks it's a delusion based on like the facts. Like, I can't be associated with you. I mean, you could be all sorts of other things, but this one like forbidden fruit here, you know, we can't offend the gays, you know, we can't offend them. Everybody else, fuck them, you know, everybody else just fuck them. But the gays, we have to protect them because, you know, they're so soft and you know, they're all sissies, so we have to protect them because they're not strong enough to defend themselves. They're not capable of defending themselves. You know, some of the best comebacks, some of the best retorts I've ever heard have been from gay men. Gay men will flay you the fuck alive if you go in there. Did you know that gay men tend to be smarter on average, have higher IQ on average than straight men? People must be free to say whatever they want to say in any situation. Well, that's a really fucking stupid thing to say, Pants. That's a really fucking stupid thing to say. Why would, like, what the fuck is wrong with you? No, you can't come into my house and yell at me because it's my house. So no, that's stupid. Anytime anybody gets into this absolutist bullshit, then you're fucking stupid. And you know what? Child porn. How about that? Or minor whatever. That absolutely no. No. Like, oh, this is art. No, it's not. It's not acceptable. No. It's you know, it's my we can't insult people for their identity. Well, yeah, actually, child pervs, yeah, we could totally insult them based on their identity. Yeah, absolutely, we can. If you are a child predator, I can totally attack you for your identity. No, he doesn't make your point. He made a stupid absolutist argument that was stupid. It was a stupid absolute argument that was stupid. Anytime anybody brings up an absolute argument, it's fucking stupid. And he's trying to hem me in. And it's stupid. I have never said anything like this. Hold on a second. Anything like, where was it? People must be free whatever they want in any situation. No. We can debate where those limits are, but you can't come into my house and insult me or insult my wife. That is not something that I will allow. You can't show CP. I will not allow that. And I don't think we should allow that. I don't have a real problem with defamation laws. But expressing ideas, images, and words, like just a word, there's a gap, there's a huge gap between a word and, say, for example, CP. There's a huge gap there. There's a big distance. A word is neutral. A word doesn't communicate anything in and of itself. It's context that matters. It's all the debate about limits. No. It's a debate about a word. Right now, it's a debate about a word. It's taking someone's right to say a word away. But you are making some really absolutist proclamation about what people must always be free to say. Yes, they must always be free to say certain things, but that's not in any situation. That doesn't mean that you should be able to go on to, let's say, for example, I don't know, private property or into the middle of a government building, like Social Security Administration, take your bullhorn and start saying things like that. But in the right situations, in a public forum or on a platform, on a free speech platform or a platform like YouTube, you should be allowed to say whatever you want to say. A word where that word is said, a word and where that word is said, not the word itself. Well, so for example, since we're trying to hem me down, if, for example, so the thing that I've been saying is, if they go onto your platform, into your space, and they're offended by you using a word in your platform on your space, i.e., for example, in this situation, Coded on Coded's channel using words, well, then fucking leave. If they come into your space, ban them, block them, get rid of them. Like, that's for coded saying words on coded space, there shouldn't be any consequence for that. Do you believe there's such a thing as hate speech? No, I don't.
Oh, okay. But I hope you.
But yeah, but it's not YouTube censoring him, Pants. Can you fucking grasp the idea? They haven't told him he can't say fag. YouTube never said he can't say fag. You dumb shit. Like, what the fuck are you arguing? It's their house, YouTube's house. Yes, if you go into YouTube's house, they get to. I don't think they should. I think since they provide a platform like this, it should be just all they could do is prevent you from breaking laws. But it is their house. So congratulations. You figured out what I said when I said if you go into someone's house, you can't insult them. Congratulations. Congratulations, Pants. You fucking got there. And your low IQ is a disservice to gay men worldwide. But anyway, back on what I was saying. Gay men... Gay men are very good at responding to. They're very quick-witted. They don't need you to protect them. Is all I'm saying. And Pants is the exception to that rule because
You guys understand there's something I can't teach you, and that's that these are just words.
they are just words.
No. We get that. We get that.
They only have.
They get that. They get that. No, I don't think you get that, Shiz, because it fucking flies by your fat face.
The power that you give them. So if the
Okay,
word,
but like that word in
Yeah,
our
but you're not.
generation,
Yeah, but. Let's go back to get a little bit more of that. Yeah, but.
power that you give them. So
Yep, words only have the power.
If the
that you
okay,
give
but
them.
like that word in
Yeah,
our
but you're not
generation
part of
has-
that community that's
You're not part of that community. You can't use that word. You're not part of that
been
community.
victimized in that way. So
Victimized in that way. Victimized. Oh, fucking stupid. I'm going to come at you with facts and I'm going to bring receipts. Oh, no. It's just going to be all emotional arguments and visceral reactions.
you have to understand that there are some things that you will never understand.
The fact that they're using faggot as an insult is the problem with doing it. That implies you and everyone else think being homosexual is automatically negative. That needs to change. No, because if I called you a dog, I love dogs, but if I called you a dog, am I insulting my dogs? Am I insulting my dogs? If I call you a dog, I love dogs. I love my dogs. I have never met a bad dog. If I called you a dog, am I insulting you? Am I insulting you? Is that an insult? Yes, it is. Does that mean that I think being a dog is automatically negative? No, I love dogs. It means that you are being insulted. Dummy. Does anybody think any of these things out? Or is this all just visceral reactions to things? Does anybody pause to think about these things before they type them into chat? Or is this all just, oh, I got to react? Words can hurt psychologically, and they have a lasting effect if we let them. I have so much experience with that. Well, you know what? If you are susceptible to that, then you probably shouldn't be on the internet. You probably shouldn't be outside because people should be allowed to use words. YouTube did censor his use of the FAG word. I believe he almost lost his channel due to community guideline strikes. Well, that's terrible. But he wasn't doing it because of YouTube. He was censoring it because of Shiz and, to a lesser extent, Dog Detective. Life's hard, wear a helmet. Exactly. Life is hard, wear a helmet. Like, either we have two ways we can go about this. We can allow society to function as society functions and have a robust debate with ideas being shared, with positions being debated, or we could censor everybody and we could cater to the weakest person, to the most easily offended person. And if we do that, I mean, just imagine, like, people get offended. There was that time. There was a short period of time. It's lost into the annals of YouTube history where people couldn't clap. Right, first they had to snap. Right, because there were people who were PTSD triggered by clapping. Now, none of those no person that was triggered by this had to be in the room. It was just some people somewhere theoretically are, and so you can't clap, you have to snap. But then that was too offensive. And so we had to do the jazz hands. Jazz hands. Like there's never a end to the amount of censorship that they're willing to do. There's never an end to it. And there's never an end to the creativity of people for coming up with new words to offend. There was a time when all of these words that we currently use today for offense didn't exist or weren't offensive.
Yeah, but
You get what I mean? Like from your perspective, that
Well, and
there's some
not only
things you
that,
just can't.
our generation
There's some things you just can't say. There's some just words that you just can't say. Like why? Why?
It's hard.
has strongly tied that word to where it's used most, which is in violence against.
The word fag is used most in violence against gay people. Citation needed. Citation fucking needed. Because no, it is used. You go to a loading dock. It's used constantly, day in, day out, by a bunch of dudes on a loading dock who aren't really offended by it. You go to a construction site, used day in, day out, by a bunch of dudes who aren't really offended by it.
Gay and transsexual.
I deal with words used towards me just fine. Well, hold on a second. What the fuck? Words can hurt psychologically, and they have a lasting effect if we let them. I have so much experience with that. So you don't have experience. You have internalized what people have expressed to you. So like if you've dealt with it just fine, then what the fuck is the problem? What the fuck is the problem?
People, like that's where the word is mostly coming out here.
No, it's not.
So our
You're lying,
generation
Shiz.
has seen that, and
No, you haven't,
instead of
Shiz. No, you
using
haven't.
our freedom of speech,
No, you haven't seen that. You haven't fucking seen that. Wait, who are you to be the arbiter of what is or isn't acceptable, though? Who am I to be the arbiter of what is or isn't acceptable, though? Who am I? Well, let me throw that back to you. I haven't censored Coded for the use of the word fag. So why are they, Pants? Why are they? I'm not trying to have it both ways. CP is actually physically harmful. It's physically harmful. Children are harmed. There's actual physical harm there. You cannot make CP without harming kids. So I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, dude. Like CP is physically harmful. Speech about CP? Well, that's not CP. That's speech about CP. And why do you want to talk about CP? What the fuck's wrong with you that you want to talk about CP? What kind of person are you that wants to talk about CP? I never said anything about speech about CP, you dumb shit. Try to fucking weasel around the subject. You're acting like a piece of shit here, buddy. You're acting like a piece of shit.
To say words that could negatively impact someone.
Use words that can negatively impact someone. Well, that's the point of a insult, is to negatively impact someone. Like that's literally the point. And what about all the other words that negatively impact someone? You're useless, Pants. I'm not responding to you anymore. What about all the other words that negatively impact someone? There's a bunch of words out there that negatively impact people, and we call those insults. And what's like, why are all those fine, but this one word isn't?
We use our freedom of speech to try to teach others that, there are some things that even though you
we use our freedom of speech to try to keep you from using yours.
can say, you can justify it all day long. At the end of the day, maybe it's still a shitty thing to say.
Okay. Yeah, most insults are shitty things to say. That is generally speaking the point of an insult.
And I'm getting that. But I don't have any words that if you said to me, I would be like, oh my God, I can't believe you fucking said that to me.
Well, and that's good for you, but like.
This is just water. Sorry. Well, sparkling spring water with carbonation, natural pineapple mango flavor. No one can possess that which is mango. Okay, wait. You brought up CP. Yeah, that is as something that is is and should be censored. Yep. He was talking about how you said free speech does not exist in your house, so it is not an absolute. Free speech doesn't exist in my house, right? And it's not absolute, right? Yep. Just saying what I think was Pant's point. Yeah, you didn't communicate shit. Like you're like, holy fuck, that was like everybody who just went on this experience of reading your comment with me is now stupider. We've all lost IQ points because of how fucking stupid that comment was. You clarified nothing, you added nothing to the conversation, and you should be ashamed of yourself.
Like you have to realize, like, I'm not even sure how
It
old dog is,
depends
but
on perspective. It depends on what you've been through, you know.
It depends on your perspective. It depends on you. So wait, I have to figure out what somebody else's perspective is before I pick the words that I'm going to use. I have to tailor every word for whoever may eventually hear it, or I could just say what I'm thinking and use the words that I want to express what I'm thinking.
It depends on what you've experienced, but you know, there are some things.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's just like I have seen some of the most hateful things said about Chili. Some of the most hateful things about him, and it's okay. It's okay. But if you call him a fag, boy, that's crossing the line. Even though he probably is gay, and that's not that there's anything wrong with that. He's gay for pay.
Is that we have to accept.
Well, and I'm willing to accept. My question is it fair for a generation that's 10 or 20 years behind me to apply their standard?
See, the point is that using logic doesn't affect this because they are arguing from a position of emotion. They're arguing from a position of visceral reactions. So having a logical argument as to why that word shouldn't have any impact any more than any other word is completely lost on them. How arrogant am I? Well, you remember what I said about coming into my house? That's how arrogant I am.
To me,
Well,
not
yeah,
knowing,
because you're
not
living in the
knowing
world
that.
now.
Hold on, let me finish. Not knowing that I have no fucking perspective or anchor point to understand why it's offensive to them.
So Dog's point was that you have to watch what you say because of how other people might take it. And he was saying, wait, you know, what about my perspective? Why can't you look at my perspective before you tell me what I can't say?
I'm not saying it's right, but I'm saying I understand why they're reacting this way.
Well, you are saying it's right. You've literally just been arguing it was right for the past, I don't know, only been like 6 minutes or 8 minutes.
Okay.
I mean, contextually speaking, when people know better.
Oh, now context is important. Now context is important. You know what? Whoops. You know what, Salinas? I agree. I am so sorry. I can't stop it. Like it's ingrained in me. I've tried to not be libertarian anymore. It's in my DNA. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But context matters now. Like she just brought up contextuality. Now context doesn't matter for the word. Now, I mean, if you're using it in a nice way, a bad way, doesn't matter. You can't say the word, but context matters for everything they want to say.
Better, they do better.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all we're really asking for.
Do better. Do better according to who? You know, just like Pants was saying, like, who are you, the arbiter of what's good? Right, Pants? You fucking clown? Right, Pants? Jesus fucking Christ. Who are you? So me asking them, who are you to tell Coded what to do, turns into who am I to tell them what to do? Well, yeah, I guess turnabout isn't fair play.
Yeah.
Right. And in return, I would ask the general public, everyone, that you're not allowed allow simple words to be so
Well,
offensive.
so I know for my
Yeah, don't let words be so offensive. You know, logic isn't going to prevail on them though, Coded. They're not arguing from logic. Oh boy, Brainiac's back. Wow. So you mentioned CP. Yes, that is correct. Pants mentioned it based on what you said. No, he didn't. He said that he said something along the lines of he wanted to hem me in on saying something about CP shouldn't be who am I to say that CP should be bad, right? That's what he said. Who am I to say that CP should be bad? is bad or unacceptable. And I said, well, because it hurts kids. And then he switched it to speech about CP, which I never mentioned. Frauded or follies, you fucking idiot. You fucking idiot. Because you're not looking at the little switcheroo game he's playing. He is arguing from a position of just trying to score points. He's just trying to score points. He is disingenuous. And that makes him a piece of shit. And I asked why I didn't ask you, fraud or follies. So I answered your question. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You thought you answered the question, but you weren't fucking smart enough to understand what was going on, let alone communicate an answer to the question. You're dumb, and you should realize it. And you should stop, because you're not helping. You're dumb. You're too dumb to help.
My generation, it's not a simple word.
Yeah. And I assume that you're too fucking stupid to understand it, because there was a whole context that went on before that. I personally am a big believer in context, you fucking fool. I'm a big believer in context. And the context of all the statements that he made up to that point led me to believe that he was being disingenuous. And you can't tell me I'm wrong, because you're not fucking smart enough.
When I was young, so I know for my generation, it's not a simple word. When I was young, we learned about what happened to Matthew Shepard. And,
who the fuck is Matthew Shepard? But we have a name, so let's look it up. Matthew Shepard. Matthew Shepard. Is there a Wikipedia? Here we go. Wikipedia. We're going to share this tab instead. All right. Through 1998, gay American student at the University of Wyoming who was beaten, tortured, and left to die near Laramie on the night of October 6, 1998. The suspects were arrested shortly. Significant media coverage was given to the murder and what role Shepard's sexual orientation played as a motive for the crime. Prosecutor argued the murder of Shepard was premeditated and driven by greed. Is greed a sexual motivation? McKinney's defense counsel countered by arguing that he'd intended only to rob Shepard, but killed him in rage when Shepard made a sexual advance towards him. Okay, so that's what the defense counsel argued. I don't know why. Why would defense counsel argue that? McKinney's girlfriend told police he'd been motivated by anti-gay sentiment, but later recanted her statement, saying that she had lied because she thought it would help him. Huh. Okay. So, and then there's hate crime legislation. So one person means that we can no longer say fag. And hold on a second. Let's go back to this one. Let's look up. So members of the Westboro Baptist Church picketed his funeral. And that's the only mention of fag. So was he getting called fag? Was he getting called fag? I don't know. How did, like, his actual, theoretically, best case scenario for Shiz's argument, his best case scenario, if what defense counsel said, if what the girlfriend said is true, okay? Best case scenario, he was attacked and killed because of his sexual orientation. Not because of a word. So it doesn't make any sense to try to censor the word fag, and because one dude somewhere got killed because he was actually gay.
He was fucking beaten to death while hearing that word over and
over again. Citation fucking needed.
Over. I have a gay friend.
Who was it? Who was the Sandy Vagina person who was saying, "Oh, I have black friends," and made that point about me? Who was that? Who was that little Sandy Vagina bastard? Oh, I must hate vaginas because I called him a vagina, and that's an insult. Oh, your logic. The logic in here is overwhelming. I'm logicked out.
Went through an experience that if he hears
my anecdotal gay friend went through an experience. Who's that dude? Dan had his friend's brains blown across his lap. Now they are all up in like, show us the receipts, Dan. Show us the receipts. Where's the receipts, Dan? But Shiz, hey Shiz, where are your receipts? You fat bitch.
Here's that word, he's fine, but later he'll probably get really upset about it. And
If he hears the word, he's fine. But later, he'll probably get upset over it after he's had a chance to think about it. After he's had a chance to internalize it, maybe get a little attention from it. Fuck you.
I just think that's shitty to do. Like, even if he's not going to show it right now, even if somebody's watching this and they never.
This one unnamed person. Won't you please think about my unnamed gay friend who will probably be fine hearing it, but then later he might get upset over it. What the fuck? These aren't going to be emotional arguments or visceral responses. No, not from us. Not from us. No emotional responses or visceral arguments from us. No.
Express that word upset them. You could be saying a word that triggers a very
triggers. I hope you get triggered.
Terrible, traumatic.
The point of calling someone an insulting name is to offend them.
Experience for them because they've been through.
And if someone, it could. You know what? It could. You're right. It could, and it could do lots of things, and they could be aliens. They could be aliens. I mean, they could be aliens. Could. Well, it could snow tomorrow in Sacramento. It could snow tomorrow. Yeah. I mean, China could become an open, free society tomorrow. Could. What the fuck does that even mean? Like, Jesus fucking Christ.
Through things while hearing that.
Got you.
I'm just asking for consideration.
Consideration for my unknown, unnamed, theoretical friend who would probably be fine hearing it, but then later may get upset over it. Not that they're hearing it, but there are other people who could, in theory, get upset by it. I'm just asking consideration for them. Oh. I just thought about this. Somebody sent me this hat. This is a charity. It's dirty already, man. It's a charity, Mission 22. And I said, cool, wear it on live stream. I doubt this is the live stream they wanted me to wear this on. Oopsie doodles.
I got you.
Yeah,
I got
it's just one of those things that it's hard to understand when it hasn't affected you, but
it's hard to understand what hasn't affected you. It's hard to understand because it's hard to explain. It's hard to explain because it's all just emotion-based, visceral reactions. That's why. If it was logical, you would be able to explain it. Is it a crime in Canada to misgender someone? I don't know.
Giving it.
According to some, you're supposed to allow people to insult you with every vile name, and you're expected just to sit there and take it because free speech. Sorry, that's not how some people operate. Well, you can block them. That you always have the opportunity to block them. You don't go into their spaces. And if they're like making videos about you, don't watch them. Like I have a lot of people who say a lot of shitty things about me, and for probably, I don't know, 5 years, I didn't do anything about it. I didn't block or ban anybody. And at some point I realized that it was wasting my time to read their comments. So I started blocking them. Now, does that make me a bad person? You might think yes. But at the same time, there's been a lot of people who've been making videos about me that have been very negative. And what I do, I don't go watch those videos. That way it has no effect on me. It's amazing. It's amazing how little power someone has in your life if you don't give them the power. It's just amazing.
A little bit, slight more sensitivity.
We need more sensitivity. We need more sensitivity. No, I don't think so. Sensitivity hasn't been doing us very well as a country. I don't think we're doing any better today than we were 70 years ago. I think we're probably doing a lot worse today. We're a lot more sensitive. We're a lot more empathetic, but our society is a lot weaker.
You don't have to be like, oh, I'm really sorry, but, you know, maybe just choose a better insult.
Choose a better insult. This insult is way too powerful. So you need to choose a better insult. You can't block or ban someone in your face in real life. You can turn around and walk away. Leave. Are they forcing you to stay there, Glober Mom? What kind of theoretical situation are you imagining in your mind, Glober Mom? That you can't just walk away from someone in your face in real life. Like, well, I can imagine a situation where I can't leave and they're in my face, and oh my God, then what? We need more politeness and compassion from coded friends about the F word on YouTube, because in real life someone can get in your face and you can't block and ban them. I hope so. You know, this wasn't probably the best thought out time to wear the hat the first time. But anyway, you should donate to the charity, especially if you believe in free speech.
I'm all for that. I think I can do that. Let's finish this clip.
I appreciate you.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's about it. I don't know. Do we need to go back through the chat? I've been kind of responding to some of the things that have popped out on me. I'm going to well, let's see if my my pump troll showed up. My pump troll has not showed up yet. I have a the property I bought has a drainage, well, not drainage ditch. There's an irrigation ditch that runs through the property, and from that I get a miner's inch of water into a pond. And there's a pump in that pond, and whoever set that pump up, they did everything. I mean, it's an expensive pump, but they did everything like kind of haphazardly, based with whatever materials they had available at the time. And it seems like every weekend I'm down there fixing that. Something will break on that goddamn thing about every weekend, and it's getting really old. The pump troll, it's a pressure device. It'll turn on the pump at a certain point because it pumps water up the hill to holding tanks, and then gravity fed down to the water everything. Anyway, so it turns on at a certain pressure, turns off at a certain pressure, and that's gone bad. So either I could replace the contacts, or I could replace the whole unit. So I'm just replacing the whole contact, or the whole unit. I'm sorry, because I don't like taking care of little things like that. And if they don't let you leave and keep getting in your face, well, that's called fucking assault, and that's a crime. Assault, battery, if they actually touch you. If they just lock the doors on you, that's false imprisonment. So now that we've escalated this to actual fucking crimes, Jesus fucking Christ, they've escalated it to actual fuck. I can't believe you people. There are criminal laws in place, because that's beyond speech, Glober Mom. Jesus fucking Christ. That has taken a step past speech. If they don't let you leave, it's either assault, battery, or false imprisonment, kidnapping, maybe. I mean, it's going to be a crime if they don't let you leave. So any other brilliant words of wisdom, Glober Mom? So yes, if someone does assault you or falsely imprison you, prevent you from leaving, kidnap you, something like that, yeah, you should actually call the fucking police. That would be a great idea, Glober Mom. I'm glad you figured it out. And yes, not every situation is the same, but your hypotheticals are pure shit. Anyway, I don't know. There's probably a lot of fucking comments. I'm going to let Coded Streams play while I take a piss. So.
Thank you.
Glad that we were able to talk about that.
I don't like the double standard.
Hold on.
I've had a problem with.
Trans girl is in our chat right now. Hello, trans girl. How are you? Just dropped in to say hi. Well, howdy there, girl. You post an awful lot. I don't need to know anything there. trans girl. You can go back to the double standard was something that Mark, you don't even know Mark, the sarcastic fucking 7-year failed law student. You don't even know what his voice sounds like. That was Mark that said that there, trans girl. Carte Blanche says, good day at Trans Girl. We welcome everyone here. If you disagree, hand pink waving, hand pink waving, hand pink waving. What we have.
Why did you read out the emoji?
He always does. I love it.
Is Trans Girl, are you Dan's son? The only one that ever did it was Carte Blanche. And the emoji doesn't render in StreamYard. So, you know, I just got in the habit of reading. She would do 2 hand pink wavings. Then, like, now you'll start seeing it in the fucking side chat. These guys all one day started to realize to put pink hands with their fucking comments. And I was doing hand pink waving, hand pink waving. And it kind of laughed, so I kept it going. It kind of died out, though. All right, let's finish out this. There's only about a minute left. Trans Girl, if you're Dan's son, I'll give you an invite for the panel. If you're not Dan's son, then I don't really want to invite you up.
I wish we had watched
But if
this
you're
through before we
Dan's
had
son,
our
Trans
enlightening
Girl,
discussion.
I will
Why? Enlightening discussion.
bring you up on the panel. Oh, yeah. Look at the fucking pink hands in the side chat panel. And as far as Trans Girl goes, you live your life however you want to live it. I do not want to tell you what you can or can't do.
That's horribly transphobic to not want to tell someone what they can or can't do and to tell them to live their life how they want to. Horribly transphobic.
I will tell you that it's a scientific fact that when you go fucking around with your body chemistry, you know, you run the risk of long-term damage to your body. Or
That was a very vague statement.
You know, the whole transitioning thing. There is a correlation, Trans Girl, if you haven't gotten, you know, any kind of.
Well, I guess I'm good on that. We will go ahead and read some comments. All right, so that is the link. It's the top of the live stream. Obviously, you've been watching the video with me. There we go. Hello, hello, hello. Happy Sunday indeed. Hello, Logan Sandman. Are you the guy that they accused of it was somebody by the name of Logan they accused of assaulting women online or something with your words, saying you're old enough to be their dad? Not smart enough to untangle this. There we go. How dare you tell women that you're old enough to be their dad and then flirt with them? I think people have gotten shot for less. Not too fucking good. A dry drunk, angry and verbally abusive. That's me. Bye. So fucking weird. That is true. That is true. Entertaining, smart, funny. Sounds like me, but you would not like to have a beer with me unless it's gluten-free. Otherwise, diarrhea really ruins the night. Well, it depends on what activities we had planned for after the beer. I gave up trying to understand US abbreviations like JBTP. I don't know what that means. Just here for the cock. Right stream for it. Morning, Merb. I enjoy the dialogue with Coded Friends. I enjoy watching. There's something, it is, you know, you don't really learn a whole heck of a lot, to be honest. But, well, you learn a lot of drama, but there's something very soothing about just listening to them. Merb's lives like waiting for your period. You know it's coming, but you don't know exactly when. And when it comes, it's either the best fucking news in the world or it's just another Sunday. Well, that is a very nice metaphor. Coded is a person, not a stream. That's in code. I get it now. Well, there you go. Coded is my biggest fan. He's reported restreamed several of my streams, and he and his side chat have written fan fiction about me. I'm flattered. Well, I've only watched maybe the last couple weeks of his videos, so I haven't heard of you, Steve Miller, but it's a pleasure. Hearts. I hope Kate didn't say I have all this money. She took, according to Kate, she took every single dollar she got in that trust account, or in that money raising thing, and put it all in Wish's trust account. So he knew exactly how much money she had. Is this where all the cocks hang out? Yes. Coded is mean and picks on me because I lie and make shit up for likes, clicks, and views. You are the fake Welsh News Network, but yes, he does pick on Dan a lot. Yeah. So, hey, Frog. Hey, Sergeant Rock. Not too fucking good. John. Hey, Logan. Love waking up to summer. Better than coffee and more acidic. Yes, I can be pretty acidic. I'm sorry. I think litigation in the U.S. is out of control. Well, what do you base that on? What do you base that on, Tom? Like, how much litigation have you done in the U.S.? All the disclaimers on daily use goods, etc. This is one thing we have better under control in Europe and results, in my humble opinion, in a better standard of living. Well, I hear that Europe is heading towards a recession, so we'll see about that better standard of living. And like, there's the International Criminal Court at The Hague. I mean, there's a lot of litigation going on in Europe. So I'm suing Chile. Just wait for it. That's what I hear. I will sue you. CodedFriend 001. Not too fucking good. Treble clef, not ampersand. Got it. Hi. Ampersand, that's a G clef. G clef, treble clef. I don't know. Looks like an ampersand to me. I hope Uncle Artie pulls out his 40 caliber Beretta PX4 Storm on cam in this one. He loves doing that. Hez or something. Frog, I am suing you. Are you the guy with an IQ greater than Merb's? It's hard to keep shit to yourself in this cesspool. It is impossible. I have a cleft palate. I'm sorry to hear that. Ol' Frog. Lol Frog. Dan's IQ, or bring it on. I knew something happened, but didn't try to find out. Now I will for free. Also, people, smashing the thumbs up is free. Do it quick before the prices rise. I don't think they will. Wow, I feel honored to be on a restream that Burb is restreaming. Lol. Well, unfortunately, I don't think you made an appearance on that one, which part, so. Welsh News Network. You won't like this live stream. It is under your normal 6 hours. Barely, but yes. That whole group is about nothing but drama. That is a sock account, not the real WNN. Hey, Witch of Farts. Oh, sick burn. Is BSBT still in jail, by the way? Broken system, broken trust. Wasn't he in on meth charges or something? Welsh bans more people in chat than Chile does. Okay. Well, you know, his house, his rules. Was he he was a couple of hours ago. I honestly wasn't thinking you were going to talk smack on Coded, lol. Well, so one thing that I think I like about Coded is that he is an honest debater. He says what he means what he says. He doesn't play games. He doesn't try to score cheap points. And he's honest. And so I am honest too. And I think that's why I like him and he likes me, because we're honest and we'll tell you what we fucking think about you, whether we like you or not. And in our news society, a lot of people can't handle that. They think if you're my friend, you can't actually criticize me. But like, so if I believed, well, it's not my place. It's not my place to say anything. But like, say for example, a trans person came to me for some reason and asked me, you know, should I get gender affirming surgery? I would say no, because I care about that person, right? If they trust me enough to do that, I probably have a relationship with them. I care about them, and I wouldn't want them to harm themselves in that fashion, because I see it as harm. I don't, you know. So I would say no, and it's not because I hate them. It's because I care about them enough that I would not want to see them harm themselves. So I don't know where I was going with that. But yeah, in today's society, a lot of people think that it's like the caring thing to do is be like, yeah, go ahead. You know, oh, I support you. You go, girl. You know, you chop it off or you add it on. And, you know, I've seen some of the damage that can do. And yeah. Thanks, Frog. Mulberry. Yeah, Mulberry Lane. Mulberry Lane, I believe, was one of the sponsored by words. The mods are worse than most frauditor channels. If it weren't for obnoxious people, there would be no YouTube. That's true. So that's the thing. Like a lot of people don't understand. With the auditors, the frauditors, the reason why they do the things they do is because the things they do get them clicks and views. If they just went into a place and started a film and they were polite and nice, number one, they probably wouldn't have contact, depending on the place. But if they did have contact, if they were polite and nice and they just left and then they sued and had a court determine their rights, well, that wouldn't get any clicks and views. So they have to start talking smack. They have to make it a drama. Logan's cool. Being true. FYI, you are still always welcome to bring Brittany back. Just let me know. I don't know who Brittany is. That's me. It is you. Oh, you were that guy. Well, I feel terrible for what they did to you. That whole thing. That's terrible. I mean, the difference between unacceptable flirting and acceptable flirting, I've learned, is whether or not she's into you. That's the entire difference. Whether or not she's into you. If she's into you, it's acceptable. No matter how stupid and corny it is, it's acceptable. If she's not into you, it's not. And their whole thing about, you know, you got to take a no as a no, et cetera, that's all bullshit. It's all bullshit because I can't tell you the number of times where women have said no in a playful way. And you're like, well, what do you mean? I mean, it confuses the fuck out of guys. And I get it. You got to just know. And if you don't know, I mean, there's a lot of stupid people out there who can't figure out when she's just playing and when she's being polite. But, you know, stupid people need love too, right? And you know, especially on the internet, if a woman can't figure out how to deal with unaccepted advances, i.e. by blocking or whatever, then I feel no sympathy for them at all. And I feel bad for you having been picked on like that, especially in a live stream, getting called out on it and then having Shiz pile on. It was fucking terrible. It was fucking terrible. I talked directly to Logan and he apologized. We've been through that. Merb wants all the smoke. I don't give a shit. This is better than Days of Our Lives. Nice. Logan's dick. Okay. I don't know what the fuck is going on here. Well, neither do I. So welcome to the club. Lol, so much characters in this chat. Sure stuff is going to kick off in here. The only one missing here is Nick Volt. Don't know who that is. Whoa, what be going on? Smiley face. Been through that. Popcorn. Hi, everyone. There are all kinds of people on YouTube, good and bad. Well, see, that's you know, I disagree with that as a fundamental position. I think that there are no good people or bad people. I think there are people who do good things and people who do bad things. And most people who do good things do bad things on occasions. And most people who do bad things do good things on occasion. And it's just the day of the week. It's just how they're feeling, whether or not they're going to do good or bad. And even that, good or bad, is subjective. I mean, Hitler killed the Jews, right? So Hitler kills the Jews. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? The Germans at the time thought it was a good thing. Now we think it's a bad thing. I mean, and Hitler loved dogs and he was a vegetarian. So, I mean, you know, good things, bad things, right? People are people. People are people. Pointless drama, exactly. Well, I love is when Merb is trolling all the trolls and kicking up drama. Thank you. Would it have been underage? No. Okay. So I see that Shiz looks hot. Where can I see more pictures of her? Oh, yeah. Oh, I was going to look that up for you. I did not look it up for you. Turtle Boy. Go to Turtle Boy's website. He has pictures of her out and about in public. Does not look anything like her pictures that are on YouTube. Nothing like them. I mean, if you've watched any of the out and abouts on Kate's live streams, you probably got a good idea of yeah. I don't like Shiz. She calls me out for being a fucking idiot. Well, that's terrible. Only vans as a shiz section. Only vans. Okay. No, were you underage? Merb is to be old enough to be her dad. No. Merb is a beast. I have managed to avoid most of the beast mode, even though I say stupid crap in the chat. It's a lot of stupid stuff that gets said in the chat. It's when you say stupid things like intending them to be smart. That's usually what catches my attention. Like, okay, he's talking shit, whatever, fine, go have fun. But then people like come in with what they think is really smart, and you're like, you didn't fucking think about this before you typed it, did you? You'll run it by a friend. Phone a friend, ask for some help before you fucking throw your hat in the ring like that. What is happening here? I don't know, probably. I don't like Turtle Boy. He kicked my ass on Lauren De Laguna's channel. Okay. Oh, that's right. There was that debate between I didn't watch it, but there was apparently a debate between interesting. That'd be interesting to see that. Maybe I will watch that sometime. I don't watch Welsh News Network. My only exposure to Welsh News Network has been through Coded. So maybe it'd be interesting to see how he would take on Turtle Boy. Turtle Boy is smarter than Dan. I guarantee that. FYI, Merbs isn't wearing pants and he has red pumps on. You weren't supposed to tell anybody that. Lol now Merb is mixing in TB content. He's really trolling now. Some peeps will be foaming at the mouth. Again, they're just pictures, bro. They're just pictures. Like, I don't know. I don't think he edited them. I mean, I've seen Shiz on live streams, and let's just say that the pictures on Turtle Boy's website look like they look on the live streams, not like they do when like the Walking About Boston when she's not in control of the camera, or walking around other places like they walked around somewhere else, didn't they? They did 2 of them. I only watched to see Kate's titties, so that's all. There you go. Coded to me is a bad person on the internet. He condemns those because of his indoctrinated religious views. Well, isn't that what is? The point of religion is to be able to differentiate between sin and non-sin, good and bad. And I believe the point of the Christian religion, which I'm assuming he is, and probably I shouldn't, but the Bible does condemn certain activities, and so in order to be a good Christian, you have to condemn those activities. I haven't heard him condemn people. I've heard him like with this last bit with where he was talking about trans girl. He didn't condemn her. Turtle Scum is a POS that gets mad at everyone and everything. That's not a lie. But is he an award-winning journalist? I thought he was. I don't know. I haven't looked into it. I know you're not Merb. Well, but what am I? I don't like Merb because he can prove that I am a dumbass. Are you pretending to be Welsh News Network still? I don't know. The Mask Gang is some ghetto drama of some crackheads. Yeah. I mean, like, the more the fucking like worse it gets. From Turtle Boy jerking off and on camera to Kate living with her abusive, drug addicted boyfriend, pretending to be married to him. I mean, just all sorts of shit. Shiz's drama, like Shiz dissociates herself from the truth quite regularly, or at least she did in the past. Awards are overrated. That is probably true. Lol, that's what he says. Question, Merb, what does NTFG stand for? In Wales, apparently receipts are something you claim to have but never show. Double verified. Award-winning journalist, Merb was 100% sarcasm. I thought he won some award. I remember when I interviewed him, he said he had won an award or something like that. And honestly, I don't care enough to verify. It didn't matter. It wasn't germane to anything. So there you go. What is normal? Coded people who think like you. Well, there is a normal in America, that in the world. The normal is male and female being heterosexual and making babies. That's the norm. That's the norm for any species out there. Are there exceptions to the norm? Absolutely. Does that make, am I making some value judgment on them? No, I have no value judgments to be made, but there is a normal and there is a not normal. And, you know, how about this? It's normal to make less than $100,000 a year. That's normal. Is it bad to make more than $100,000 a year? No. But is it normal? No. It's not normal, but it's not bad. There you go. His award wasn't worth a piece of toilet paper I used this morning. Well, you know, the price of toilet paper has gone up quite substantially. Brett from the settlement said he got an award, but didn't pick it up. I hate it when mom and dad fight. If you're implying at all I'm married to Shiz, I assure you I am not. I'm normally not mean to her, but there's something off that I can't put my finger on that I'm not a big fan of on Shiz. And you know, I'm not here to cast aspersions, but if you read the Turtle Boy article on her, it'll really cement a lot of the things that I had a tingly feeling about. Lol. Like cross-dressing and going down to the pub. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? That sounds like a good time. I mean, I guess it depends on which club you go to or pub. Hey, Glober Mom. Hi. Make to female is normal. Female to male is whack. I have no idea how you people walk around with those things. Oh, transitioning male to female is normal. Well, okay. Merb, good afternoon, you twat. Did you see the Jones plantation? I did not see it. You can't change the definition of normal so you can be offended. Well, people change definitions all the time. A++. Holy shit, Merb. That Shizley sure has changed since those pics I just saw. Yeah, bro. Yeah. The magic of filters. It's, dude, like just expect everybody, every woman you meet will not look like her picture now that we have those filters, because that's crazy shit. Crazy shit. Women like, men lie too much, and then they have pictures like that, and you're like, well, but do we though? Sex 101. It's Photoshop. You figured that out, Ryan. Whoo! We got us a genius here, boys. Thank God someone is finally explaining the birds and the bees to me. You're welcome. I know. You're welcome. Watch out. Fire. Tony Randall fathered a child while in his 70s. Oh, well, I mean, good for him. Lolmer, be careful. You might get kicked out of Cali. I'm, you know, probably. You know, I know the things that I said, which should not be which should not be controversial, but will be. You know, will be. Yeah. I learned more from this than I did in school. Accept reality on reality's terms. There you go. Buenos dias, amigos. Are there going to be visual aids? Well, let me stand up and show you. I like it when Merb talks about transmissions. Merb always educating his viewers. Or maybe it's Maybelline. That's true. That would be a lot of Maybelline, though. You can't cake it on that thick. I was going to ask what gym she went to or magician. Yeah. I have an X, Y, and Z. What? You spelled bar wrong, Bert. She goes for apps. She likes her apps. God, or for real. Merb, next you're going to say that furries aren't real either. They exist. They exist. Furries exist. There's one guy I watch on Twitch. Shenner, Shenryr, I think is the way he spells it. He's a furry. He is a cat of some sort, some kind of cat, and sometimes he'll stream in his little cat outfit while he plays various video games. And seems like a cool dude and all that fun stuff. And he's real. Calling it a delusion is a stigmatization, wrong in and of itself. But you can't say it's wrong. You can't say it's wrong. You can't say it's not a delusion. You can't say that. Well, I guess you can, because words don't mean anything anymore, and people can say whatever they want to say. But it is, because every chromosome or every cell in your body, well, except for the gametes, I should say, every diploid cell in your body, or whatever they call it, is going to say what sex you are, what gametes you produce, either sperm or eggs, what you're geared to produce. Proud parent of a son who is a trans male and has body dysphoria all his life. He is happier now than he's ever been. Can't argue with that. I don't know. If a woman is jogging, does that make her eggs now motile reproductive cells? Asking for a friend. No. I adore the stigmatization delusion. I missed saying hi. Sorry I was out of the room. Well, hello. Orange cones. Some of my best friends are black. Jesus. Glober Mom. Hey. I'm trying to lurk and eat my lunch, but Burb's feisty attitude today is sort of turning me on. Thanks for making my lunch so entertaining. Pantsless Burb. Hi chatters, lunch calls. Well, enjoy your lunch. Laura. Not that anything I think is any significance, but while I don't always agree with Merb, I would still have a beer with him. This country needs to get back to that point. Absolutely. You know, I watch all sorts of political channels who I disagree with. But sometimes you're like, oh shit, you have a good point. You know, I don't agree. I'm actually coming to agree with, shit, what's his name? Why am I drawing a blank? Comedian. He spit on Alex Jones once, which I disagree with. He shouldn't do that. Oh God. What is his name? Let's look it up. Let's look it up. He's in my subscriptions list. He's in my subscriptions list. He is Jimmy Dore. So because I've watched him, because I didn't just tune him out, because we have different political beliefs, I've actually come to agree with some of the things I disagreed with him before. So yeah, I mean, having a beer with someone, hanging out with them, listening to their point of view, you might change your mind. You might learn something new. And that's kind of the point that I was making. You know, you tell people to shut up and you can only listen to this one point of view. Well, why do you need to stop people from hearing this other point of view? You know? Hi, Brian from Drinks and Discussions is my black friend. I don't know who that is, but good. Laura gonna need a private moment, probably. Some call that a dog whistle. I don't know what you're talking about, but I don't care. No worries, I am distracted also, and a fat cat is grooming himself in front of the screen. Well, that sounds like a good time. Some of my best friends are American. That's a lie. By the way, libertarians are not normal either as a minority ideology in the world. Yes, that is true. That doesn't mean that they're bad, right? Hi, too much mansplaining. Some of my best friends, just the what do they call that? Sexist. That's a sexist statement. Too much mansplaining. What if someone said too much, or excuse me, mansplaying? What if someone said too much women splaying, right? Don't come at me with that. That is sign language. Shame, insults, guilt, and a need to be right. Oh, some of my best friends have chromosomes. Sounds sick and twisted, but hey, I like them. Well, that's pretty cool. Hello, Laura. Your woke shit has no power here. This is a fact zone. I think it's true. Love you trying to have a rational conversation with a YouTube chat. Well, that won't really happen. You need to educate yourself. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. How about that? No, he doesn't. It's pronounced merbsplaining. Hi, Logan, Ryan, Daremaid, etc. Love to all. I'll be back in a bit. You must educate yourself to art ideology. Well, you should understand everyone's ideology. You should understand it. That way, I mean, that way you'd be able to develop arguments against it. Or maybe it convinces you. Maybe you don't have arguments against it. So maybe it's right. You don't know. I have friends that are gay black Nazis. Me too. I love it. I love how everybody's like, the Ukrainians are Nazis. I'm like, dude, I'm pretty sure that Zelensky's a Jew. I don't know how much Nazi ideology he could have. Pretty sure he's a Jew. He's a Jew. Someone can explain to me how a Jew can be a Nazi. I don't know. I need more Red Bull and Monster drinks. Been a long day. Well, you should get yourself some Red Bull and Monster drinks. 07. 07 to you too. You can have gay, black, etc. friends and still be homophobic and racist. That is a lie. That is absolutely a lie. He doesn't get it. I don't. I identify as a meat popsicle. The Fifth Element. Yes, that's a great movie. Thank you. You don't lie, you have no friends. That's kind of mean, Denise. Never judge me for being a Welsh bag. Okay. I judge people based off the content of their character. That's it, nothing more or less. And that's the right thing to do. Never judge me for being a Welsh bag. Again, don't lie. Did we doubly do? Boys have a penis, girls have a vagina. Not always, not necessarily. Don't lie, you have no friends. Again, that's 3 times. She must have been stuttering, or I must have been stuttering. Trump admitted that he's a racist. I'm the least racist person you know, was the quote, right? Being the least racist is still being racist. And it also implies that you're more racist than he is. So congratulations. And another don't lie, you have no friends. And another don't lie, you have no friends. Boy, howdy. She really wanted to hammer that point home. I learned that watching Kindergarten Cop. Good for you. It's not the tumor. Oh, this is Merb's reaction vid of the Feelings Police stream. Yes, it is. Another don't lie, you have no friends. Pretty much has something people have forgotten. Despite making no sense, people still used the same tired arguments just so they can be offended. Yes. The technical definition of faggot is a bundle of sticks. 9,000. Struggle sessions are really creepy to watch. Yes. Yes, they are. And that was a struggle session. That's exactly what the communists use in China. It was a struggle session. Excellent. Excellent for you for catching that. Nice. My gay friend still calls people fags all the time. Well, because it's very commonly used in that community, but you can't use it because fuck you. That's why. I don't agree. You may not be that way around your friends, but you can still be that way under some circumstances. So under some circumstances, I'm assuming that you're reacting to me about the, if you have black friends, you're not racist. If you have gay friends, you're not homophobic. Either you're judging people based on their race or you're not. Either you don't like people of a specific race or sexual orientation, or it doesn't matter to you. If it doesn't matter to you, you can be their friend. If it does matter to you, then you're not going to be their friend. It's an either or kind of position. You don't get racist white people who have black friends. It doesn't work that way. That's not the way it works. Because if they're racist, they'll be like, I don't like you because you're black. That's like the definition of racist. Ma'am, Merb banned Bert. Why so weak? Did I ban Bert? I don't recall banning Bert. Don't call my gay friend Derek. Don't call my gay friend Derek my gay friend Derek. I get it. How does it make sense that a racist would have black friends? How? It doesn't. But they're going to tell you that like all these things are racist, and you're like, that literally there's literally no way for you to not be a racist. If they want to call you a racist, you can't defend yourself. There's no way for you not to be a racist. If they want to say you're homophobic, there's no way for you to say you're not homophobic. It is an attack. It's not based on logic. It's not based on reality. If you try to resort to logic or reality to refute it, they're going to just simply say no. They're just going to ignore it. It's insidious. It's terrible. Nope. Someone asked me for a fag when I was in England. Had to jump back for a second. They asked for a cig. Yep. But it offends Shiz. So England should stop using that word for cigarettes. Keck. Okay. It's an insult because they used to tie gays up like a bundle of sticks when they burn them. Nice try though. It's just an insult, dude. And we're not tying them up and burning them anymore. Let it go. Let it go. My friend calls a cigarette a fag. Nice. Kiki Riku. Lizzo. Singer is being very charitable. Well, I haven't heard Lizzo's music, so I assumed she was a singer. I'm just a singer in a rock and roll band. Words change meaning over the years. But it's the context that matters. It is the context that matters. It is the context that matters. Good job, Glober Mom. It's the context that matters. I.e., so you could say fag in a way that has a negative context or a positive context. And just because someone uses the word doesn't mean that they're insulting all gays. That's bananas. Go bananas. I'm hungry and horny, by the way. He's always pretty much horny. Don't accept a banana from Lizzo unless you're into that kind of thing. I don't know what that means, but okay. Your fish are much quieter. They are. I can fix Hungry Fabio, but I can't help you with your other problems. Oh, I can fix Hungry Fabio, but I can't help you with the other problems. Well, why are you so speciesist? The cock is offended by being called Lizzo. Tell your cocks to chill, or tell your cock to chill. By the way, Ryan, your video of Aaron Queen as the energy vampire from What We Do in the Shadows was so funny. Loved it. Creamy ganache bananas. Kosher, leave us Jews out of this. Sorry. Mea culpa. Thanks, Laura. Aaron Queer mega cut coming soon. See, it's okay to call him queer, right? It's okay to call him queer. Don't call him a fag, though, because that would make you homophobic. I'm a wop. Doesn't bother me one bit. Well, okay. If I mention that I am sexually attracted to spider monkeys, nice. They are kind of cute, but I wouldn't find them sexually attractive. When did becoming offended become such a big deal? I don't know. People like to say, I'm offended. I'm like, and that's not an argument, but okay. Morals are subjective. Yes, they are. They do change over time. Absolutely. Watching you bitch about tards while banning people is too much. I'm convinced Shiz, Welsh, and Merb are the same person. Well, okay. You're probably a very smart person, so I trust your judgment. Acknowledge my greatness. I do. People try to insult me by calling me Willie Nelson. I take it as a compliment, even though I look like Gandalf. Well, okay. Yeah, don't let them get to you, man. Like people can only insult you if you let them. One time it was popular to own other people's. One time it was popular to own slavery is still in existence in parts of Africa and in the Middle East. Yeah. Jimmy Dore is a funny little man. I don't like his comedy so much, but I enjoy his show. He is honest. He's an honest debater. And if I agree with him or disagree with him, he presents the facts that as he sees them and he argues them honestly. And that's all I could ask for. Like, I don't have to agree with you. Just don't be honest, or just be honest about it. Don't lie. Like, don't fake stuff. Don't acknowledge when the other side has a point. And Jimmy Dore does not like Trump, but Jimmy Dore understands like some of the shit. Like, are you really like some of this shit's wrong? So I appreciate the man's honesty and his willingness to be an honest debater. Get over it. How many people have died from being offended? I don't know. Jimmy Dore's okay if you don't mind bitter old communists that spit on people. Yeah, it was not cool that he spit on people, but again, there are people aren't good or bad. Everybody, there's good things and bad things in everybody. Sometimes people do good things, sometimes people do bad things. A coded Merb stream might just crash the internet. Can't wait. Oh, it would probably be the least watched stream ever, but that's fine. Keep sodomy kosher. Okay. I don't know that it's not kosher. It's forcing the acceptance towards anything I have real issues with. You can't force people to accept until they want to. That's true. Those that get offended and overreact are not happy with their lives. Well, maybe not. I don't know. So I can go into a store and rob them and be extorted if I hold and be extorted if I hold a pride parade. Interesting. I guess. I don't know. You're talking about the RFK commentary about why Israel's better than Palestine, and having a gay pride parade is like it absolves them of all their other issues. Yeah, I mean it's fucking crazy. It's weird. But that whole he did the interview with Jimmy, and I thought that was kind of weird. But then he did another stream. Jimmy did with Max Blumenthal, I think it was, and Max Blumenthal just tore RFK a new asshole on that whole issue about how Israel's so good and all the fake facts that RFK was spitting. And again, I'm not shitting on RFK. I'm not going to vote for him, but he probably believes the things he's saying. Coded 001 chat has many regulars that don't agree with each other, and yet somehow they get along. Yeah, I know. I mean, Coded's very proud of that. FYM, eh? Joe Rogan had him on his show. Had who on his show? RFK? I didn't watch that. Joe Rogan, I don't think he's on YouTube anymore. And I never really was a big fan of Rogan in the first place. Virtue signaling. It's the newest trendy cool thing for kids today. Yeah, it is. When I went through cloud control training in basic training, they taught us not to get offended by words that weren't true. If someone calls you a name, don't get offended if those words don't apply. You know, that's like the same thing I went through. I was a good little Christian boy, and I was fairly sheltered, and I started working on loading dock when I was fairly young man. And those guys were brutal. They were brutal, like in a words, brutal with their words. I mean, they'd figure out your button, and they'd press your button and 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 press your button, like just ceaselessly, relentlessly. Like if they knew they can get a reaction out of you, they'd get it every time. And it took a long time. By a long time, I mean probably like 6 months or so before I figured out like if you just don't react, it's not fun anymore. They just go away. They don't want you to make a decision. They want to control your beliefs. Yes, they do. I'm offended by Klingons and Romulans. Okay. FYM. I actually disagree with a lot of what Merv was saying. I also agree with a lot. There is absolutely nothing wrong with him saying things I disagree with. Offensive taken, often for nothing. Yeah, you take offense, it's never given. Sorry, losers. It's the 2023 internet. You either pick far left fascism or you're a far right fascist. Probably. Red pills for everyone. Social media made being offended and virtue signaling the cool thing to do. It did. Like there's been a huge change in the way everything has like progressed from when the internet started. It snowballs on itself because there's the trendsetters. People say this is the way it should be, and then you have the people, you know, the less confident, lower independent thought people who just absorb it and then enforce it, and they turn it into the norm, and so it like reinforces on itself really fast. And it's crazy the things that people believe that just aren't true, and it can't stand up to any scrutiny. You know, if you're wondering why various things are being censored, like about the beer flu, I mean, there's all sorts of things that are being censored about it, and you know, we keep finding out that that was wrong, you're being lied to about this, lied to about this, and it's just insane. But there's still people out there who believe the entire narrative. It's crazy. But you know, that's what they were told to believe, and that's what they believe, and off to the races. If you call me a name and that name doesn't apply to me, how can I get offended by it? Absolutely. My owner is so logical. Okay. Semantics more important than the message. That's the game they like to play. Soy boy. I try not to eat soy. I don't know if it's true, but I hear it has a lot of estrogen-esque things, and I don't know if it's true or not. But never really been a big fan, and doesn't really add anything, so I don't eat much of it. And my wife has an allergy to soy, which also helps. So there you go. I wear adult diapers, so I don't have to go with the flow. Nice, because marginalized people control the narrative. They do and they don't. The people who claim to be marginalized pretty much do. Words only have as much power as we can give them. Yes. The U.S. is a nation of extremes. IMHO, there is no middle ground anywhere. That's because we have been pitted against each other. That's a really good point, Sergeant Rock. It all comes down to the fact that you can't offend someone without their permission. That's correct. There's only 10 Hells Angels. All the rest you see are ATF agents living large as outlaw bikers. Probably. And I think we should get rid of the ATF, the CIA, the FBI, and all those other three-letter agencies because they're terrible. I'm with you, I think, on this opinion. I would want our society to work like he explains it. Hell, it did for a small period of time. Yep. Getting offended by words from people you don't even know is absolutely ridiculous. And yet people let it get to them. They let it get to them. There are people who've committed suicide over being picked on the internet. It's fucking crazy. It's sad in any language. Violent words. Fuck is a multi-tool of words. Yes. Push is a verb. I actually enjoy talking to Rights On, Scrubzilla, Jeff Hates Pigs, etc. to understand their perspectives and why they support Chile. Yep. Yeah, I mean, so people are always like, oh my God, you hate frauders. I'm like, no, I don't hate auditors. I don't hate them at all. Like, I understand some of them I think are doing it for reasons that aren't necessarily what they say they are, but I audited, I walked the walk and I talked the talk. I've done audits, and there are some people out there who are true believers on the auditor sphere, and they really believe that they have a First Amendment right to do X, Y, or Z, and they want to use those rights. And there's also grifters out there too, though. So, but there's good points and bad points on both sides, and I've made arguments on both sides of the auditing thing. Come to the UK and you can smoke a fag anytime you want. Yep. Loud noises. Lol, I have, among other things, a degree in linguistics, and I'm observing this from a purely scholastic perspective. Well, good for you. Verbally assaulted. I think a lot of it came from boredom. While the whole country was down, there was an explosion of people being offended by anything and everything. I think it's from a long time before that. There was a whole a whole response movement in the 2013 to 2015 ish to woke and censorship and things like that. And so it was quite a bit before any of the lockdowns. So yeah. And there was a reaction to it a long time before the lockdown. Any of George Carlin's aggressive K sounds worked best. That's loud noises. These fat creatures burst from the bloated corpse of Tumblr like a twisted chrysalis to ruin the world for the rest of us. That's some imagery there. You must be a writer. That's very, very imaginative. That is BS. ATF had one agent that made it to a patch status. Only one. I mean, how do you know? The best comeback I ever heard was, the only thing I like more than sucking dick is kicking ass. Huh. PC culture and everyone getting offended has turned free speech into privileged speech. Yes. We demand a MERB Shiz panel. Meow. I think I offended her and she left. That's fine. She's allowed to leave. That is the preferred approach. If you're offended by something, leave. Leave. See how easy it was, Shiz? Just leave. I despise those who virtue signal to get clout. Absolutely. Marginalized people don't control the narrative. And we've been over that one. I used to work with a guy named Dick Hertz. I knew a guy with the last name of Smart, and everybody called him Notso, and he hated that. He hated that. But try to be friendly to a Chile supporter on most anti-frauder channels, and they treat you like a traitor and the enemy. Too silly. Diplomacy communication beats aggression war. Absolutely. Absolutely. Panel. What time is it? Let me see if my pump troll has arrived yet. If I have received a communication from the great and glorious. Do not. I might do a panel if we get down towards the end of this. I don't know. Words. I might do a panel someday. How about that? Words don't offend me because I don't give them the power to offend me. Absolutely. X. Yeah, racist. When is a straight white man's parade? Who is control of the narrative? Why would you even want a straight white man's parade? Why would you want that? Like, what would that? Well, simulate straight sex in public? Yeah. Like, what would that even? Why would you want that? Inigo just had to put Fabio in his place. The marginalized people are just the loudest, okay? For once, I'm not in all three chats, and Laura's only two of them. Where did we go wrong? Sorry. Free speech is not free. Yeah, we've been over that. 100% the people are making money off hate, period. Yes, absolutely. Can't we all just get along? That's right. Then it's not free, is it? Dangerous freedom. Eagles or Cowboys fans? Eagles, of course. I'm only in this chat, but I'm glad every time you're near me. Aw. We love the First Amendment until someone says something we don't agree with, right? Yep, pretty much. Everyone cares about their rights. No one cares about, but no one cares Merb might eat me. Eventually I will, Fabio. Eventually I will. Cowboys suck. Eagles, 49ers, Saints. American football is not real football. Watch it, Welshman. Go fuck your hat. My daughter always corrects me to use Asian instead of Oriental. Like rugs and stuff are Oriental. But even the Orient, like the Orient Express only went to like Turkey, I think, didn't it? It didn't go all the way to like East Asia. Burb's fabulous cock has always been worthy of their own sock account, trolls. American football is soccer. Cocks, smiley. How can you stop someone from kicking someone's ass for insulting them without tyranny? They would still be guilty of assault. Yeah, well, so why would we need to proactively stop them? We already have a law in place. So it's like, how do we stop people from committing murder? Well, we have a law that says you can't commit murder. People are still going to do it, yeah, because life isn't perfect. So that's all you do. You have a law banning assault. Does that mean my Oriental rug is racist? Well, your Oriental rug isn't a person. Does misinformation count as free speech? Yes. Yes, it does. Has always the fun thing is that a lot of the things that were misinformation, identified as misinformation early on during the COOF, has turned out to be not misinformation. Crazy, I know. Has always been. Internet God has always been. Is PHAG okay to use? I don't care what you use. YouTube might, but I don't care. Yes. According to my daughter, it's offensive. Goddamn, Murbies, I can't argue with this. Well, okay. Always surrender. It's my job. I can't help it. Neither can you, whoever they are. Oh, good job, Surrender Monkey. Merb dropping too much logic. What about the threats of violence, verbal abuse, terroristic threats? What about threats of violence? Well, if they're credible threats of violence, then according to the First Amendment, they are not protected speech. Verbal abuse. Well, verbal, that's pretty vague. So I don't know what to tell you about that. Terroristic threats. Well, if it's a credible threat, then again, it is not protected by the First Amendment. So yeah. But verbal abuse is so loosey goosey. Like, what does that even mean? Like, I can understand like a credible threat of violence. That's similar to something like attempted violence. It's similar enough, right? There's some physical thing that you're threatening to do. But threats of verbal violence, verbal is words. Words aren't violent. Terroristic threats, again, it's the threat of the physical action that makes it actionable. Verbal abuse, calling someone dumb, that's not actionable because there's no threat of actual physical activity. I wish gay people would be actually gay rather than mostly morose. Oh, he's playing on the on gay as in happy versus gay as in sexual orientation. Yeah, you can get arrested in Canada for hate speech, whatever that is. Yeah, that's too bad. I think DeSantis passed a law on about criminalizing anti-Semitism, I think, which I'm not advocating for being anti-Semitic, but it's protected speech, like, I don't know what to tell you. It is and should be protected speech. And you could hate people who are anti-Semitic, and that's great, but they should have the right to say it. There was a time, believe it or not, when the ACLU actually protected the rights of people and advocated for them who said the most hateful things. Was that Brandsburg? I think. No, what was the Ohio case? It was actual hate speech. Like a guy saying like, we should, it was something terrible, like we should kill the blacks and Jews or something like that. And because it wasn't an imminent threat of violence, then it was protected. I want to say Brandsburg, but that seems to remind me of a different case. Brandsburg v. Hayes. That's a different test. What is the Ohio imminent threat of violence? Brandenburg v. Ohio. There we go. That was litigated by the ACLU, and that was a straight up racist speaker. And you know what happened? Racism went down over time till we end up in our current situation. So, you know, just because you let someone speak, that doesn't mean that people are going to believe it. And if you think people are going to believe it, then what do you like? If you don't let a racist speak because you think it's going to make people racist, then that means you think he has a good argument or something. Let him speak. Use your own power of speech to make people less racist. How about that? One of these things is not like the other. Which ? But there are limits. But there are limits on free speech. If Chile says we need a war on cops and Colin goes out and shoots a cop, Chile bears some responsibility. No, he doesn't. Absolutely not, Paul. You're wrong. You're 100% wrong. There's no imminent threat of violence. It has to be imminent. You have to incitement to violence has to be imminent. Like if Chile was standing there and said, we need to kill that cop, and he points to a cop, and then Colin goes out and shoots that cop, then yes, Chile would bear some liability there. You see the difference? Threats of violence are not protected speech. Credible threats of violence. Artie's not a drunken bastard. He only plays one on the internet. Okay. But doesn't it still count A? Those are crimes. Getting your feelings hurt isn't. Verbal abuse is not a crime. If anybody tried to make a law against verbal abuse that just said verbal abuse is a crime, wouldn't hold up. As much as I dislike misinformation, is 100% free speech, just like people are free to believe whatever they like. Yep. Randy Rainbow. Okay. One gay is worth 7 soldiers to give their lives for them. They are precious and must be protected. The Onion. Okay. I get that's a parody website, right? I'm just asking for a clarification. I love Randy Rainbow. Some of the best comebacks are on the backs of gay men. I see what you did there. The jokes. What I'm taking from Merb, and I may be off base, there's nothing wrong with the line discussion from an objective standpoint. There is nothing wrong with the line discussion from an objective standpoint. Did Merb just offer Pants some CP? No. In the military, we call misinformation counterintelligence. Okay. Hell yeah, we met this guy named Scotto. He's funny and can roast a motherfucker raw. Pants makes my point. That is free speech having consequences. It should not have consequences, or else it's not free speech. Thank you, Pants. I was confused for a minute, too. Merb is just a crusty, old, cantankerous fart. The fact that he's younger than me is totally behind the point. Well, I'm older than you. I'm old enough to be your dad. Wood chipper fuel. I don't know what that means. 34th Street represent. Represent. No, that was a good point. Glover Mom's point is on her head. Beside, cannibals get a bad rap. But Laura, what about Chile's gay skiing videos? What about them? Right, Laura, they're just clearing out old stock. This is why comedy is dying off. I haven't watched comedy in a long time, but I could believe you. My daughter's boyfriend plays bass on tour with Randy R. I blame Bitcoin. Because of the low body mass, vegetarian is a cannibal's favorite meal. Okay. Do you believe there's such a thing as hate speech? No. Place, time, and manner. Okay. Vegetarian tastes like glyphosate. Okay. There's no such thing as hate speech. I agree. But YouTube chat glitches are truly evil. Took me 2 refreshes to type again. He did get mass reported for hate speech. Well, that's terrible. Was I banned? No. If you're offended by words on the internet, board games are a great alternative for your boredom. Absolutely. OMFG goes the insult. Murby's not saying CPFFS. There are consequences for certain words or accusations like that. I may not have been succinct with my comment. That's on me. There should not be a consequence for certain words. Accusations, maybe, like defamatory statements, sure. The only hate speech that exists is any hate speech against me. Fabio, just look at my plumage. It's beautiful plumage. Never mind. How many people do you know that were injured by a word? It's a word. Get over it. I agree. Fabio, you are a truly magnificent cock. He is. Agreed, Fabio. You're too fabulous to be hated by anyone or anything, and the hens are especially fond of you. Inigo really hates Fabio. He'll chase him every once in a while just to kick his ass. Shiz's face isn't fat. Okay. And I love how you narrow it down to her face. So you're saying the rest of her body is? Merb, the fact that they're using faggot as an insult is the problem with doing it. That implies that you and anyone else think being homosexual is automatically a negative, and that needs to change. No, it doesn't. I've proved that point already. Fat face, I thought you loved Shiz. I am cordial to Shiz when she's not doing things that I find distasteful, but I don't have any particular love for her, no. Some believe YouTube should be designated as a traditional public forum in the 21st century. I do. I think it should be. I think any platform whose intention is to disseminate speech, is views for speech, should have the First Amendment protections on it. I believe that. Absolutely. Government enforced. If it's not illegal, then it should be left up, uncensored. Don't worry, Glober Mom. Someone will white knight my comments in reaction to your bullshit. See, Laura Rader gets it. Why can't I be part of the community that doesn't sound fair? I don't know. Gay men suck. If you're nice to them, they'll swallow. Words can hurt psychologically, and they have lasting effect if we let them. I have so much experience with that. I've been over that. Is incitement a thing? Yes, it can be. It has to be imminent, though. You know what else hurts? Rocks to the face. Those do hurt. He's never met a res dog. I don't know what that means. YouTube did censor his use of the FAG word. I believe he almost lost his channel due to community guideline strikes. Well, that's sad. There are no bad dogs, only bad owners. I agree 100%. If you let words hurt you, then that's your problem, no one else's. Life's tough. Wear a helmet. Whatever. I'm more than capable of defending myself. If people white knight for me, that is them using their free speech. Lol, it's all visceral reaction. Yes, it was all visceral reaction. Hearts, I could say anything that the king approves of. That's probably true. I like turtles. I like turtles too. You don't let your dog on the couch? Shoot, I let my dog borrow the car if he needed. We don't let the dogs on the furniture anymore. We used to. They completely ruined a love seat and shorter couch that had on each side, the little legs kicked up, whatever. They ruined it. So we're like, okay, no dogs on the furniture anymore. Nighty night, figs, going to bed at night. What about you guys? What about when guys call each other pussy? I love my cat, but you still insult a guy by calling him a pussy. Yeah. Either the cat or the vagina reference. Either way, I love vaginas, and I don't really like. I'm not a cat guy, but cats are nice, and I don't have any problem with them. Their hair gets in my nose and it makes my nose itch. McAddict is right. Reservoir dogs are insane. I don't know what that means. Hi, Dan. He was reported by WNN who was offended. Wow. Later, Arto. Frog is correct about that. He did almost lose his channel for saying that along with other words. Do people really not see how silly all this is? We're talking about words, fucking words. Yes, that's the point. But Reservoir Dogs is a great movie, so there's that. I've been called all kinds of names. Don't give a flying fuck. But lay hands on me, there's a problem. Yes, there's a difference between words and actions. There's a difference. Gia, I'm a dog now. Cool. Just don't call me a cat. Okay, you're a dog. Offensive is never given. It's always taken. Absolutely. Beautiful witch heart. Okay. Movies are not dogs, Laura. Sheesh. Words are not harmless. Charles Manson didn't kill anyone with his own hands. He had a cult where he sent cult members out. So it was conspiracy or something along those lines. I mean, he was responsible for it, like directly. He sent them out to do it. I'm scared to drive fast, so on motorcycles must be banned. Well, that's not very good logic, but okay. YouTube content creators have sold out with all the word games being played these days. Self-bleeping words because they apparently are alarming, like kill or suicide with unalive, especially annoy. Well, I mean, if you want to keep your monetization, yeah. You control how you react to words, not the person saying them. Especially annoying when watching court tube content. Yeah, I mean, it bugs me when YouTube censors this, like when I'm just reading a pleading, like I'm just reading a pleading, and they like, oh, you've violated our terms of service or whatever, and I'm like, well, why? It doesn't make any sense, but they do. They are protecting us from ourselves. His words didn't kill. The gullible people who followed him did. That is true. Those aren't spirit fingers. These are spirit fingers. Merb, explain the saying, the pen is mightier than the sword. Well, it's a saying that that you can get more done with words than with swords. But I don't know. You can change more people's minds with words than with a sword. And we've been over that one. I'm offended that you implied I'm stupid. Fat fuck at the food court. I wish I could attach a photo Unreal, still have an alibi. I don't know what that means. I wish I could grow a real mustache. Facts. Another thing is there are people who will mass flag channels that use or words that don't bleep them out. YouTube content creators are not afraid of YouTube, but of YouTube advertisers, which is something else. Sergeant, because of what he told them. I'm stupid. I am never offended. It's better to go through life stupid. I tell you that. A lot less to worry about. I can't win an argument with facts, so I'm going to make up statistics. That is right, 87% of the time. I used to think that fag was another way of calling someone a wuss. Well, yeah, but other people didn't, so... I remember the good old days when I could freely use the word they. Captain, there was literally a great argument on WAPO or New York Times about presumptive offense and how it affects things like medical journal writing, etc. Yeah. It's gone too far. And for all the people who are enjoying it going this far and think it should go further, it's a pendulum, baby. It's going to swing back. It's a pendulum. You want Hitler? This is how you get Hitler. I identify as someone who doesn't give a rat's rectum about how other people identify themselves, and I demand that my right to offend everyone be respected and protected. And I can't attack your identity. Here come the attacks up there, LMAO. If words from strangers affect your life, then social media isn't for you. That is true. Laura, we always hurt the ones we love, especially when we do anal. The penny is mightier than the sword. Words stick down a president. Was lurking and came into this midstream. No idea what's going on, but please continue. I sure will. Effing clarification. Through my mother, I have issues, but on YouTube, I don't. I think you probably still have issues. Just going by what you say. No offense. Pants, you are the domestic abusers who say his partner made him do it. Ryan, so true. Luckily, my love for you remains strong. We represent the Lollipop Guild. Hi, Merb. Ha ha ha. Thanks, Laura. Stop insulting shit. I will. The lady at Dairy Queen was rude to me. I cried for 2 hours. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. I was at a gay bar in the city. I was surprised how freely it was used to each other. It was not in a negative way. They usually hugged after. Yeah. Merb needs to drink more. Am I dehydrated? It is, by the way, still just sparkling water. So, words which negatively impact people are most often called the truth. Most often, yes. Shiz and her filters. I know. It's fucking terrifying. Oh, wait. You brought up... Oh, this idiot again. It's hard to watch a group of people talk about being offended after seeing their streams about Cyrax. Oh, yeah. I mean, they can say anything about him that they want because he's not a protected class, right? Yeah. I hate the word overdue on my bills. Me too. If you don't understand free speech, then perhaps you should sit this one out. Yes. It negatively affects me when Michelle calls me a bad boy and sends me to my room and I pay her extra to do it. Nice. I'm a different person since I went to alcohol rehabilitation. Well, good. And no capes. By the way, arguing semantics with a lawyer is not going to, arguing semantics with a lawyer is going to go to some very technical places, just saying. Like his job hinges on being able to question the intent of specific words in a contract, etc. Well, I'm not that good. We all know cape's bad. It's English. I got to talk, okay? But is it okay to insult the 20-year constitutional law scholar? Apparently it is. Show us on that all where the words touch you. Yes. Good one. Taze thinks it triggers most people. I meant all of them. Reality does, in fact, exist. It does. And trying to ignore it doesn't do anybody any good. I don't want to lose IQ points. Me either. Good point, Brazos. It's Taco Josh's birthday. I don't know what that means. You said mango, and I'm offended. Rage quit. No one can possess that which is mango. He's a lawyer. They're built to question and challenge. If words don't affect people's behavior, why is the advertising industry worth third of $1 trillion every year? If words don't affect words do affect people's behavior. They do. But suggesting that a single word is so powerful that it should be banned regardless of the context that it's used in, that single word doesn't affect people's behavior. It's the context. The point of an attorney is to persuade the jury to think that the things that you presented, your facts, are true and correct, and the things that the other side presented are not true and correct. That's our point. So words do affect people's behavior. I don't know why you would think they wouldn't. And and like I said, there have been people who've like committed suicide, like especially young girls who've committed suicide based on negative interactions on social media. It absolutely does affect people, but it wasn't like a single word that did it. I mean, it was them placing too much emphasis on other people. And again, we shouldn't try to legislate or moralize based on the weakest person among us. There was a book or a story, I don't remember what it was exactly, but they tried to make everybody act exactly equal. And like smart people, they would play, things to interrupt your thoughts to try to make you the same as, the least common denominator. And strong people, they would bind down, and they would put in shackles so they couldn't exercise their strength, and et cetera, et cetera. And I mean, it's that effect on society. You don't have, you want the best and brightest to be the best and brightest, because that's how society gets better. And pit stop. Okay. You don't want, it doesn't do anybody any good to dumb everything down to the lowest common denominator. We pick on Chitler continuous because he said we don't stop. There you go. Reality can be an asshole. Yes. I mean, nobody said reality is like the best. I mean, but it exists. Pants Merb is very arrogant and has always admitted so. Yes. My cousin was the attorney that asked the witness how a fag is. My cousin was the attorney that asked the witness how a fag is identified. I don't know what that means, but okay. Arrogant people with brain power to back that up. Arrogance are a real turn on, just saying. Ew, libertarian, that's gay. Indeed, it is. I don't think people should be able to say the word short. It hurts Joey Amigo's feelings. Well, again, I mean, too bad short people aren't a protected class. You can't bring up Taco Josh's birthday. He's a Jehovah's Witness. Oh, totes. I'd ride Merb's pony any day. Merb is just attacking the message, not the person. I take no offense. We are all entitled to our speech within reason. No, not within reason. Not within reason. No qualifiers. Not that qualifier anyway. I shouldn't say no qualifiers, because I'm going to be saying, well, no qualifiers. Well, actually, there should be this qualifier. You know what I'm saying. So true. The same people who come here to throw insults at Chili Boy are now offended by insulting words. Too funny, indeed. Please don't forget to vote Chitler for the Griffies again, please. I think I want to bone Merb. You're right. This is a good one. Michelle will require to go back and catch the whole thing later. Well, it'll probably be reported and taken down. So I wouldn't worry too much about it. Hi. Wow. So this idiot again. Free speech could lead to violence. Could. My nutsack could lead to violence. Dude. Shouty Merb is the sexiest of all pantsless Merbs. Can't be denied. Libertarianism is communism's sibling. Well, like I said, I try to break away from it, but at the end of the day, man, I don't want to be, but I am. Hello, Michelle. Wow, this is wild. I wouldn't even keep trying. That's probably good advice. I will, does it, Sentinel? Just got here. The attorney for the defense was making the very point that Merb is making. Shouty Merv versus Shouty Shiva would be so cool. I offend you. What does it feel like to be so weak that mere words hurt you? Exactly. Switcheroo. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. It's a thruple. You assume he was doing it to hem you up. Ha ha ha. Facts Desert. Whatever happened to relaxing Sundays, lol. I like over-medicated Merb. Or under-medicated, whichever the case, probably under-medicated. I am super relaxed. While Daddy is distracted, I'm sneaking into the hen house for some afternoon loving. They're all out. They don't stay in the coop. They all come out and scratch around for bugs and whatnot. Pants was just asking questions. Merv got this one wrong. Now I'm very sad. Oh, did I? Switcheroo game sounds like fun. I think Pants meant speech about CP in his original comment, but he failed to specify. I don't think so. I don't think he did, because I never brought up speech about CP. I didn't. I just said CP. So it's still disingenuous, and I don't know why you're trying to white knight for him. He is roasting everyone he disagrees with. Don't take offense. We're in Merb's house. He's entitled to his opinions. I'm roasting you because you're wrong, demonstrably. Burns, don't ruin my new sexy Sunday version of Merb. He was obviously trying to hem him up. He was. Bullshit, getting called out. Hearts, go Merb. There was no demeaning Merb. There was no demeaning Merb keeps it the realist. He was a young gay man who was killed back in the day. Yeah, I mean, 1998, 25 years ago, like, let it go. Like, that was one dude, one time. No evidence of the F word was being used. And I don't think he's going to be offended by it because he's dead. So, it doesn't make any sense. Hey, Laura. My nose itches. All the cocaine. Cocaine! Exactly. But you see what happens when you try and clarify, you get yelled at. No, if you're still wrong, it gets pointed out to you how wrong you still are. If anyone knows when they're getting trapped into saying something, it's probably going to be a lawyer. Probably. Gay man who was tortured. That kid went out in a bad way. Watching Merb piss off so many people defending free speech is rather amusing. I think so. Geez, even I know who Matthew Shepard was. Well, geez, you're more educated than I do. I didn't know who Lizzo was. So there you go. I debate flat earthers all day who use the same tactic. Did you get a new dispensary delivery? I'm hoping to get the same one I got last time. Gay for pay. Sorry, continue your enjoyment of a really fired up Merb. Now, Merb, I'm going to get upset because you're insulting my friend, not because of the argument, because I'm emotionally devoted to Hez. Horrific case. The biggest problem I have with everyone taking offense to words is that they're taking mere sounds and giving them the power to harm. I think it's more they're exercising their power over you. They want power. They like exercising power, and exercising power over you is oftentimes their goal. So if they could make you say things or not say things, it's power. Merb never read How to Win Friends and Influence People. Probably not. Oh, I'm very jealous now, Logan. Please blow some smoke at the screen for me after your delivery arrives. Sounds like a lot of lying going on. True. Good morning. Because if you flew into a rage over being gay, it makes him less culpable for his actions, or at least that's what the defense wanted you to believe. Well, if it was a defense, then that doesn't mean it's necessarily true. I mean, lots of things aren't true that are tried to use as a defense. The words absolutely affect people's behavior on a level below consciousness. Advertising is a third of $1 trillion industry based on that fact, and it is a fact. Yeah, words do affect people. What's your point? I know you think you're making a good point, but I don't think it's the point you think you're making. The actual Matthew Shepard case was really about a drug deal gone bad. It was not a gay bashing. The parties knew each other, and the defendants knew Shepard had money. They needed money to go buy drugs. Well, there you go. There you go. Glover Mom, I understand that. I just don't understand why you called pants a POS. It was explained to you like 5 times, and you're too stupid to figure it out. Jesus Christ. Like, if you don't take offense to the words, they have no power. I can't believe how stupid some people are. Jesus. It was in Wyoming in the 90s, so yeah, ha ha ha. Because of the sign hung around his neck with the word FAG. They hung a sign around his neck with the word FAG on it? Because he was trying to bait him, okay? How can the pen be mightier than the sword? Okay. It's also trying to type out in chat and get a point across. It's better to be talking to with the person to make the point. I get the point you're making. All words should be on the table. You don't have to like what he's saying, but he has the right to say it. Because it's Merb, enough said. My table isn't big enough, Michelle. Yeah, like when Smollett was attacked for being gay, what? Secondhand virtual highs are still appreciated. Thanks, buddy. Yeah. Clap back, Merb. I've seen it all. Meow. John Wick can kick someone with a pen. I got beaten up through most of school because I had a stutter, yet some of y'all still make fun of folks who do it. I never say shit because I'm an adult. But having a stutter isn't a protected class. I'm sure in the 90s, murdering someone because of their sexual orientation versus murdering for drug money might have been more palatable to a jury. I don't know. I mean, that seems like a weird defense to try to make. I don't know. Well, yeah, I'm accused of committing insurance fraud and no receipts have been shown to prove it. Well, let's talk about that. When should someone have to show receipts? Well, the person in the law, there's a thing called discovery. And the reason why there's a thing called discovery is because one side or the other probably has the documents that are going to prove or disprove it. And if you can prove it, if you're the person who should have the documents to prove it, I should say, then you should provide those. And if you don't have the documents, you should state that I don't have those documents, so I can't provide them. And so it shouldn't be the person making the accusation necessarily. It's the person who has the actual documents. So if you own the house, I know it's something about a fire in a house. So if you own the house, you should be able to prove it. No, you shouldn't pass that burden on to someone else because they wouldn't have access to it to prove it. People play a lot of stupid games where they make stupid comments on the internet and they hide behind their anonymity. And then they're like, well, you can't prove I was lying. Well, no shit, but you can prove you're not. And that's the way the burden of proof should go. On the internet, it should be the person who's making the accusation or who's making the initial statement who should have to prove the things around it if they're questioned on it. Or otherwise, they should shut the fuck up. I mean, it's not, if I don't believe you and I say I don't believe you, it's not up to me to prove that you're right. Not in this context, because I don't know who the fuck you are. I mean, I don't know who you are, where you live. But if someone is saying that they can prove that you don't own the house, well, then yeah, they should actually prove you don't own the house, etc. Specifically in more conservative pockets of the country. Oh, we're going from this to this. Maybe. I don't know. Smiling. Getting the feeling that Merb is a pretty strong advocate for the First Amendment. You think? I have a ton of Harbor Freight receipts. Trigger is a trigger word. LMFAO, she sounds like a clown. No kidding, Jose. Oh my God, that's so true, Ryan. I never thought about that before. And that you hooked up with BSBTX and you hooked up with Broken System, Broken Trusts X without receipts. Okay. Merb is a cock lover. That's probably true. Right, Chaos. Best live stream ever would be Team Skeptic, Merb, Chili, and the Internet God all together. Why? I don't go off on people just to go off on people. There are subjects that interest me, and if the subject really interests me, I'm more likely to talk about it. The more we know, laughing, general consensus change over time. That's why it's hard to keep up sometimes. True. Which you've also been accused of being a Tom Selleck lookalike. That is true. Fire. Airborne. Do a side-by-side comparison then. Seriously, anyone that's listened to Merb should have known that he's a very strong advocate for the First and Second Amendment, so I don't get why people are surprised here. I also don't know why. I say the opposite is true, Peacoat. I don't know who Peacoat is. Lol, oops. Is it a crime in Canada to misgender someone? Probably. Ouch, dear maid. Darmaid? Dear maid? I don't know. According to some, you're supposed to allow people to insult you, blah, blah, blah. It's an emotional position. Your mustache is just as big. Advertisers who sponsor YouTubers are always taking a risk, in my view. It is a crime in Canada to misgender someone. I had to pause for a bit. I just want to say it sounds like Merb knows what a woman is. Which you joked about committing insurance fraud. It's only a joke. Lol, okay. I don't believe I did. I believe Glober is talking about in public IRL. And Merb is so close to SF and goes to gay pride parades with Nasty Nathaniel. Yes, I do. I have in the past. If you like the First Amendment, then yes, it's up to you how you let those words affect you. True. Freedom to choose. And I doubt it's a joke. That simultaneously makes me very sad, but also makes me laugh. I don't block or ban. I let them know how I feel. Real life is different than YouTube. Well, good for you. I had a lot of imaginary friends when I was growing up. Me too. Actually, I didn't, but whatever. I have had people call me vile names in my face. I laugh at them. Yeah, or I throw hands. I mean, there's been times. We raised a lot of money for Mission 22. Did you? Well, good for you. But whatever. I know I haven't committed any fraud of any kind. Well, good for you. Some people who argue against MERB are the same who always blame others for their circumstances. Sure. The U.S. First Amendment is overrated. Well, you could just stay wherever the fuck you are then. You can't block or ban someone in your face in real life. True, you can walk away. I guess it's more sad, though, because there are plenty of people in the U.S. who would love to see us make laws like that. Yes, they would. MERB is on fire in this stream. That's America. In the U.K., you get stabbed and do 2 years of prison. My owner needs more time for what's important. Me, Fabio. Word police. I couldn't agree more with MERB on this one. I'm guessing the organization has no issues in enjoying this stream and views. I still have an imaginary friend. Her name is Bambi. Nice. Send her my way. I can laugh at them and walk away. I've done it many times. Hi, everyone. She'll never make it as a stand-up comic. Laugh like hell. That's what you named her. I named her Palmala. Nice. I named her Rosie. Don't we have laws against that kind of stuff? I don't know. And get punched in the face or get punched in the back of the head while walking away. Maybe that's still a crime. That's a crime. I'm like, you can be like, well, you could have crime committed against you. Yeah, you could. You could also get punched in the back of the head randomly. You know, what do you want to say? Getting punched in the back of the head should be and is illegal. You're so smart. Instead, we should ban the words, because what? That means you won't get punched? Fabio, are you lodging a complaint here? Surely you get all the roaming sex and food and hen sex you can handle. I do want you to be all happy and satisfied. He doesn't get all of it that he wants because he has to compete with Inigo. And Inigo is the smaller but more dominant rooster. It's like with the 1A groups. When they go into post offices or other workplaces and start insulting people there, they can't react and have to take it. That sucks, but that's how it works. Yeah, until it disrupts their business and they get trespassed. People can go real life on YouTube, though. They can post your address or pictures of your home and tell people to go there and harass you. They can. Pump Troll. Pump Troll. Yeah. That's PUMPTROL. It's a Square D product. I have the 40/60 version coming. That's a crime. Merb's cock is trying to tell us something. More rooster feed, Laura. High grade only. We only give our roosters soy free. I mean, it's expensive. We don't buy the cheap stuff. Yes, Michelle, it is. That's my point. The harassment is yes. Merb loves pumping trolls. Pump that silly ditch. Nice. Control, not troll. Pump Troll is the name of the product. Kiki Crew. And if they don't let you leave, yes, that's the assault thing. Quick reading. There is a bill to create safety zones for LGBTQ, and you can be fined $25,000 for a violation, so they require their own segregated area. Thought segregation was bad myself. Well, it's apparently not. Noted. Oh no, people can come to my house. You can still ignore them. Call the police. Yes, call the police. I need to clean out my ears. An F got put Merb's pump in. I don't know what that means. Merb's boyfriend told him how to pump. Psh, not supposed to be sharing my secrets. Whoa, they got sent to my house. I could be their huckleberry. Ha ha ha, Alan. Some states have doxing laws on the books too. Interesting. That's Canada, by the way. That is true, Papa. Lol, walk the fuck away. Lol, my rubber valves went in my pump and it just kept pumping the whole time. Merb went full shouty mode. I didn't know that, Papa. There are countries that don't have free speech. Yes, there are. Desert, that doesn't shock me that Canada did that. Hey, Desert, police won't help. Don't bother. Hi, Nima. Jose, there are some countries that still hang gay people. There are. Thanks for that, Merb. Okay. Words hurt, so I only communicate with sign language. And I had someone start pushing pushing on me while calling me names. He hit the floor after I punched him. Cops were called, and I was cleared of assault since the dude laid hands on me. There you go. Ah, sleepy time. Yes, Taze. There are some interesting insults in sign language. I was adding to your point, Jose. Yes, there are. Got to clear what you say with fat, unsuccessful 30-plus-year-old women online to know what's acceptable or not. I know, it's fucking crazy. We learned it when we thought our daughter was deaf. Turned out to be a really bad series of ear infections. And my God, the things I learned. Well, I'm glad that your daughter isn't deaf. The sign for motherfuckers is one of my faves. Well, poppet ear infections are not fun. No, they're not. God, no, they aren't. My brother-in-law has a really bad one right now. And we're hoping it gets cleared up by the time he's supposed to go back to Germany. I thought my daughter was deaf. Turned out she just ignored me. Nice. I guess I'm a glutton for punishment. I guess you are. Best live stream I've seen in a while. Glad you enjoyed it. Glutton. Gluten is a bread thing. Coded is a bitter man, and he cackles more than aunties do. Drama King Coded. I don't think he's bitter. I think you just disagree with him. He didn't seem bitter on any of his streams. I have a legal question. Can I legally change the spelling of my name, i.e. change it from Roger to Bob, but still pronounce it as Roger? You could pronounce your name however you want. Glutton equals glutton free. Oof, Papa. I hope it clears up also. I put itching powder in Merv's pants. Tee-hee, oh wait. Since both of mine are now older teenagers, I entirely understand. JBTP, Jackboot Thug Pig. Chili's new catchphrase. Oh, nice. Merb, most people clearly just prove they have no clue what libertarian values are. Spell check failed me. I hate correcting people, but I felt like you might want to know. Thanks. There isn't better living in Europe, lol. I mean, you did spell gluten correctly, so I thought you were making up a joke about being a gluten for punishment. If not, it was a good joke. Spelled it with an E instead of an O, and spell check did the rest. We need more understanding, but not sensitivity. I guess I can agree with that. Yeah, I was curious if it was a pun. I didn't want to be that guy correcting a solid pun. As long as I made someone laugh, I guess. When Coded start pissing on Keld and the little girl woodied because she was hit by a policeman. When Coded started pissing on Khaled and the little girl who died because she was hit by a policeman. So I disagree with Coded on the whole, worship the police thing. I disagree with him on that, but I don't think he's a bitter man. I think he just likes to choke on cock dick, but that's fine. He's entitled to do that. Me either. I'm still giggling. I love it. I think it's one that has a lot of potential use. Please use it. I certainly add it to my potential pun deck. I'll use it on Calamity's girl stream out the next time she bakes. I do think people who don't have gluten sensitivity and still eat gluten-free baked goods are gluttons for punishment. So Merb is anti-addictomy. Anti-addictomy. I don't know what that means. I think it's a play on add a dick to me, but I don't know. People who get trans surgery have to go through mental health evals for a while. There's a process before surgery ever happens. Yes. But there's still a substantial percent who regret it and want to go back and can't. It is a permanent thing. It is a forever thing. Like some of the things they talk about, like having to dilate and stuff like that, or when women have like the like skin removed from their arm to form a male genitalia. Like, I mean, just it's just having it's sad to me. It's sad that people have to get body parts cut up and cut off. I mean, anytime they do that, it's just sad. Like I feel bad. Like you're gonna say that I hate trans people, but I feel bad for them. I don't want to see anybody harm themselves like that. By the time Dad is done reading comments, I'll have eaten 2 fieldworms and put the run on that no good squirrel who's trying to press me. Probably. I'd like to call Merv Daddy too. Well, you're always welcome to. A friend of yours that's bad at singing auditioning on American Idol, probably better analogy. Okay. He can piss on 2 young souls who died in horrible accidents because he is angry with their mothers. How do you piss on a soul? Like, they're dead. Like, reality exists. Reality exists. They're dead. So he might be using them to attack the moms. And I mean, you could say that that's distasteful, and I agree with you, but the dead people don't have any feelings on the matter. They're dead. It's the living who have opinions on the subject. So yeah, you heard it here. No doesn't mean no. Sometimes it doesn't. Ask a woman who's being honest with you. Sometimes no doesn't mean no. Sometimes no means just chase me a little harder. I'm enjoying this. And you've got to know the difference. You've got to know the difference. And that's where shit breaks. That's where shit gets wrong. Coded is 56 years old. Hard to fault him for trying to oppose the 20 and 30 somethings. Chances of actually converting him to woke are pretty slim. Well, hopefully. Dan is arrogant without having the brain power to back it up. That's a big turnoff. Well, that's too bad. You know, Dan looks way older than he is. So do I. I've been rode hard and put up wet more than once. Get your mind out of the gutter. I'm talking about work. All women look different when they put their war paint on. There's some videos where where women like have half of their face made up and half not, and they'll like move their hand to the other side, and you're like, whoa. And there's this one gal. I watched this one video of this gal getting ready, and like she looked like no teeth, like an old meth whore, right? Just bad. You're like, oof. And then by the time she's made up, you're like, I'm scared to go to a club. Luckily, I'm married, but anyway. Yeah. Women have been deceiving men for a long time before there were filters. Filters just make it easier. Love the sin or hate the sin. That is from my Christian days. That is what I remember being taught. I think Merv is implying Shiz is in fact a little wide in the beam. She's a hefty woman with bad skin and bad hair. Like she doesn't take care of herself. She spends a lot of time on the internet and eating apps and not taking care of herself. Like I'm anybody to judge. I'm a big fat dude with a gross beard, but whatever. I have committed sins and now I am being judged. How could this happen? They must be evil for judging me based on my actions. Yep. I have no clue what you're talking about. Me either. Yeah, TB won an award that Brett actually picked up for him because he was too big a snowflake to risk being there in public because words hurt him. Okay. Yeah, Turtle Boy's a bad person. Congratulations. What's new, pussycat? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hubris, maybe. What about gay people making $100,000 a year? What about it? So there is a correlation between intelligence and income. There's a correlation between it. And there's a correlation between being gay and being smart. Gay people on average, gay men on average, tend to have a higher IQ than straight men do, than the baseline average. And the smarter you are, statistically speaking, the more money you make. Ergo, gay men probably make more money than straight men, probably, on average. I haven't seen a breakdown on it, but that's probably the case. Just based on averages, based on correlations. He won a small town award that was voted on, like 200 votes. Well, good for him. And Turtle Boy gave out Kate's kid's phone number on stream after his court date. Aiden's number called Kate's kid 5 times before she called the number back asking who it was. I've seen the proof. Well, Kate should have brought that up in court and all that other fun stuff. I mean, like, I don't know why you're relitigating here. You've seen the proof. Now, I'm going to take that back. You've seen what Kate showed you. So, I don't know. Have you seen the proof? Like, has Kate's kid handed you Kate's kid's phone? Probably not. Authentication issues? Perhaps. And there is such a thing as phone number spoofers out there. There are such things as phone number spoofers. So really what you need to see are the phone records from the phone company. That would be what I would consider to be adequate proof. Until then, I don't really know or care, honestly. I don't even know why I'm talking about it. You are late to this party, and other people were horn dogging on me, and
And I'm sure you're probably jealous of that at this point. Actions speak louder than fur to me. I am a gorilla in the bedroom from time to time, but whether or not he's covered in fur is irrelevant. Jimmy Dore, Jimmy Dore, Jimmy Dore. Yes, you said his name 3 times. Now he'll show up in chat. Well, I wish. I mean, you know, I like Jimmy Dore. I disagree with him on a lot of things, but I really like Jimmy Dore. I love a good, honest debater. Like, I love a good, honest debater. I don't have to agree with you. Just be honest with me. I might be wrong. I've been wrong before. I hate spitters. I know. You got to swallow. Some of my best friends are my enemies. Okay, that's weird. That's pretty healthy. Pants a smurb. I gave friends with eyeballs. I don't know what that means, but okay. Has WTT had a conjugal visit with NNH yet? Apparently you don't get it. I don't think it. Never mind. Women can get all the penises they want. Women control access to sex. Men control access to marriage. Pants and smurb. I have friends with dogs. I do have friends with dogs. I can't remember which YouTuber it was, but I did see someone claim they couldn't be racist because their dog was black. They're probably making a joke, and that's a funny joke. Wait, what? I want Merb to go see Barbie reaction review. Probably not. I haven't watched a movie in a long time, and the reason why is because I see plot holes. I can't stop myself. I see plot holes, and the only way that I could go to a movie, there's a place like in Folsom where they have like a menu with like burgers and stuff, but they also have a full bar. And the only way I could go watch a movie was to just get fucking blitzed and then go there and then drink throughout the movie to maintain a blitz level status. So I'm not being like, And there was one Too Fast and Furious where they ended up going to like Samoa or something. And like they had latched all these cars together to like bring down this helicopter or something. I was just like, I can't drink enough for this anymore. And that was the last time I went, because it's not fun to have to get that drunk to go to a movie. I'm like, why even go to the movie at that point? You know, I'm racist against racists. Well, good. I didn't know racist was a race, but okay. Sorry, I'm behind. So do you believe anyone can use words to incite? So do you believe anyone can use words to incite violence, commit violence, or harassment? Can they use words to incite violence? Yes. It is possible to use words to incite violence. To commit violence? No. They're just words. Or harassment? Technically, as the law is currently right now, yes. But I don't think it should be. Anything that's subjective, I don't think should be criminal. Or even the basis for anything that's just words. So normally what they do is they make it like the phone call is harassment or whatever. Like if you call someone frequently, it's a physical act of using the phone. But you can get a domestic violence restraining order for anything that disturbs a peace of the other person, including like posting negative things about them online. That's sufficient technically in California for a domestic violence restraining order. And I really disagree with that, but that's the current state of the law. No, a person testifying identify him as a fag. No, a person testifying. Okay. Some bus drivers said that, and it hit the news. Some bus driver said that, and it hit the news. Some comedian picked it up. I don't remember who either. Maybe I missed. Thanks, Logan. At least I didn't dream it. You should hear me tell the story about a dog handler who brought his dog Blackie back to LAX. I suggested he get the dog's name changed, especially when we were searching Air Jamaica. Dogs? There's I saw a meme floating around. There's a guy named Nassar, Nassar, who had the ASS was censored out of his name into asterisks by the game he was playing. And so it's N asterisk ER. And he said, my name is Nassar. The game is censoring ass out of my name. It's not helping. It's making things worse. I thought that was funny. That's kind of humor I like. Sorry. Just here for the chickens. Well, they're in the background somewhere. The camera washes them out back there, but they're actually back there. I had a similar experience with my boyfriend's old school Southern parents. I like to I'm like, I know you're not a racist, but probably don't have a cat named Tar Baby in this day and age. I mean, Song of the South was a great movie. It was a great story, and they had a tar baby in it, a literal, actual baby made out of tar. I mean, I don't know. You could take anything you want as racist, I guess. I don't know. His facts are wrong. Matthew was showing people he had money. The defendant knew him, though he could get money thought they could get money from him. It is alleged that one of the defendants actually had relations with Shepard. Okay. You're really big on this, Mark. I must say this is probably my favorite live stream of yours. Well, I'm glad. The defense attorney did not bring up the gay issue. The prosecution did. Okay. Well, Wikipedia can be wrong. I don't know. Have you seen News Now, Lisa? PayPal Patty went trans. I'm at the beginning of the live stream and enjoying it immensely. Well, I'm glad. The entire country kowtows to so-called marginalized people. It does. I worked with a girl with the last name of Cunt. She pronounced it Kuntz, but I know how to spell bunt cake. I hope you were nice to her, though. Pff, I'm not shook. It was a sneak attack. No. Twat, I can't hear you. I'm going to spur Dad good if he tries to eat me. Oh, I don't think you will. Nice. Thanks, Merb. You're welcome. Hello, baby. You're late again. Hello, baby. Baby. Oh, where's the pink hand waving ones? No worries, Fabio. You're too tough for Merb to really eat you. Soup stock. Logan, you're no worries. Laura's dad loves me and my glorious plumage. I'm 45 minutes behind in the chat and the video. No worries. This one will be worth a rewatch from start to finish. Hello, baby. Hiya, Welsh News Now. Merb, did your legal education have any impact on your views of basic rights? No change, made you feel stronger about it. Well, my politics underwent a lot of changes, and none of those changes occurred while I was in law school. Did my legal education have any impact on your views of basic rights? I think you mean like God-given rights or something like that, because I don't think we're talking about constitutional rights, because it would have been constitutional. So no. I think the writers of the Constitution were pretty close on to what rights should be. I don't necessarily agree with the subsequent interpretation of those. I could be wrong, but I think Merb was always libertarian. His legal education just gave him better tools to advocate for his beliefs. No, I wasn't. When I was young, like I said, I was raised in a right-wing Christian household. We played Rush Limbaugh, had right-wing views. And those views existed probably till I went to UC Davis. People say that going to college changes your kids and makes them liberal. And yeah, it did. I went to Davis and I walked out of there a liberal. And I stayed a liberal quite a long time. And I became a libertarian probably about, well, I started identifying more as libertarian. I would never vote libertarian because every candidate the Libertarian Party ever puts up is just pure shit. And also, I don't think libertarianism is the best thing for the country. I don't think that as a society, we're really set up. I think we would fail with libertarian policies in our society as our society currently exists. If we ever got back to a more high trust society, maybe, but as it is right now, I don't, I struggle with this, but I don't think that libertarian views are correct. But I still am a libertarian. I can't stop that. But it was basically mid-Obama. I realized that he was terrible, but I started seeing the other side was terrible too, and I started thinking more closely about my views and why I had my views and where my views came from. Were they actually views that I arrived at through thinking rationally and thinking about what is real? Okay, so there's this program that exists. Has it helped? Why would adding more money to it change anything if it hasn't helped since it's been implemented? And so mid-Obama, I would say, like 2012-ish. Hello, baby. Hand pink waving. 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 Why are they taking books out of school? It was history. It happened. Who are they? Who are they? Why are people taking books out of school? Because we're dumbing things down. We're protecting people. Mark Twain, Samuel Clemens, was not racist, and he used Jim in his books to humanize Black people. You know, and it was an unfortunate name that they called Jim, but I mean, it wasn't used negatively in the book, and Jim was a good dude in the book, and you know, he was like Tom's friend. So, or was it Huck? It was Huck's friend. He was Huck's friend. Whatever. Dude, how do you have 2 hours time to do this burning ass shit? Take on more clients. Hate to break this to you, Aaron. It's Sunday. It's Sunday. I can take time on a Sunday. You know what? You know, courts are closed on Sunday, right, Aaron? Smart guy. Fucking idiot. An accusation made, i.e. a lie, against you. How the hell are you going to prove a negative? If an accusation is made against you, how the hell are you going to prove a negative? It's easy to prove a negative. Prove. Oh God, I had one before. You can prove negatives. Prove one is not two. Well, it's easy to do. You know, show a representation of one. You show a representation of two. One is not two. You can prove negatives. It's not always easy, but so there are many times where you actually do prove things, prove accusations, not necessarily negative, but like if you get sued, someone sues you and says, "Hey, you know, you committed this tort against me." Well, you can show that you didn't. Maybe you pull up the camera footage if it was filmed, or a contract or something like that. You produce evidence to show. So yeah, you could definitely prove these things. Chat frozen. I don't know. If an accusation is made against you, i.e. a lie, how are you going to prove a negative? That was a double. Those offended by words grow up. Absolutely. Wait, this is live for 3 hours, 3 hours, 21 minutes, and 39 seconds. And I was napping. I'm sorry. It's probably not your cup of tea, Maggie. Yeah, I missed the first 2 hours because I was dragged outside. Lol. Sometimes there can be too much nuance, and nuance is my religion. No means no. Well, for you. But there are just too many times. I mean, I've seen discussions about this with women talking to other women. Like, have you ever said no when you actually didn't mean no? And they say yes, but they expect the guy to know, and it's not all guys are smart enough to figure it out. Too much reverence for making money. Well, I'm not making money right now. Okay, Merb, you win. I can't stop laughing so hard. I have tears coming out of my eyes. And since the great fag race by Embassy and Benson and Hedges. Well, that's it. That's the last one. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.